Hello, it is January 1st, 2019.
Wow. We're here.
When you write down on a check or when you write down a date of something, remember to put that 9 back there. That's always the classic New Year mistake. Oh my God, I wrote it was 18. It's 2019, and this year is going to be the greatest year of your life, our life, and everybody's life because magic is about to happen for the next 365 days because you can do something that makes you feel good. Ooh. You can do something that makes you feel emotional.
Oh, I like that.
Wow. You can do something that makes you feel like a king of kings, and that's gamble at mybookie.ag.
Yeah.
365, there's things to bet on. Yep. Over there at mybookie.ag, you can gamble on soccer. You can gamble on baseball. You can gamble on the NHL. It's in season, by the way. Anything to say?
Hockey season. Let's go.
And that's hockey talk. You can gamble on the NFL. It's playoff season coming up. And now you can gamble on a weight loss challenge that's happening in this office. Yes, at mybookie.ag, you can gamble on absolutely everything. And they're the most approachable, relatable gambling website on earth.
By far.
You follow them at BetMyBookie on the Twitter. They'll respond to every single mention or DM. You got a question about a line, they'll answer it. Your money was misplaced, they'll answer it. You want to know what's going on or see the shit being talked by them to us, they'll answer it at BetMyBookie. MyBookie.ag, promo code PAT, get 50% bonus on your first deposit right now. Because you're at the game of life, why not be in the game of life and make some money off it at MyBookie.ag, promo code PAT. Also, speaking of money.
Yep.
Upstart has revolutionized how we borrow money by going beyond the traditional FICO score to offer personal loans, taking into account factors like job experience. Diggs, write this one down.
Yep,
job experience, work at PMI.
Got it.
I'll write you a letter.
Thanks,
all of you, I want you to know
Appreciate that.
I would write you all a letter recommendation.
Good deal.
And I have wrote,
Yes.
written.
Transcribed.
That's not the right.
Maybe, I don't know.
I think it works.
I think it does.
Yeah.
I said a burp there. Those peanut M&Ms you're going to hear about. You are going to hear about.
A lot of them.
A lot of them. Anyways, I would write a letter of recommendation for all of you, and I have written a letter of recommendation in the past if you ever need it. But they go beyond the traditional FICO score to offer personal loans, taking into account like job experience and education when determining your interest rate. It's quick and easy. Checking your Upstart rate is free and has no effect on your credit score. Your Upstart rate check takes just 2 minutes, and if you are approved, you can get your funds as soon as the next business day.
That's nice.
Upon approval, of course.
That's nice.
Wow. I like that.
Hey, upon approval.
Yeah. I mean, let's not get crazy.
You
Here.
need the okay.
And here it's in parentheses, so I think it's supposed to be like an implied thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like people should, upon approval.
Yes, of course.
Got to.
Get your funds as soon as the next business day. Upon approval.
Got to.
You can pay for anything with this. When you're approved for a personal loan with Upstart, the funds are yours and yours alone. Use them to pay off credit cards, consolidate debt, eliminate student debt, even make a large purchase. The choice is yours with your money from Upstart. I love Upstart because they offer personal loans and they don't screw you over like banks and credit unions.
Nope. It's the truth.
Hurry to upstart.com/heartland to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate takes just 2 minutes, and it won't affect your current credit score. That's upstart.com/heartland, upstart.com/HEARTLAND, and that's where we're live from here in Indianapolis, Indiana! Today's convo is a good one. Hey, how about Gorm just chewing out the private plane place?
I mean, someone's going to do it.
I can't walk in there. There's a small little group of people that work in there. I mean, they're going to know that.
I mean, they didn't have the Wi-Fi though. It's not Gorm's fault that they're
Very
not,
important time to
they're
have
not-
that Wi-Fi.
And Zito can say this. I take a brunt when there's no Wi-Fi. So enough of I'm getting beat up like a dummy here.
What was the run? What was the
Hey,
line?
if it ain't running, we ain't flying. It's a great line.
By the way, let's say you travel back. You hop in one of them time machines. Okay? You hop in one of them time machines.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one that you walk into. I don't know if it's a car. I don't know what type of time machine it is, but you get it. Maybe it's a portal like old Cuzzy that could throw the saw blade thing in Avengers.
Stewie Griffin. Oh, yeah.
That's the kind I would
Dr.
want. I just want to be able to
Strange.
just step in there.
Strange.
Stewie's time machine is the same.
Well, Studge, you thought.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it got in
I
your
had another
brain.
rough weekend.
Atta boy. Anyways, yeah, like that. Like throw the buzzsaw. It's like a portal.
That's the perfect way to go back. Just step through the hole.
You throw it like a cowboy throws
Lasso.
lasso, and then you can maybe even
Yeah, pull it towards you.
Pull it towards you. You jump through the portal. You go back to 2000. Let's go back 2004.
Good
Okay.
year. Good year.
Great year.
2004, 2005, one of them. You hop into a blue Jeep Wrangler that's in Plumboro, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
At about 7:05 a.m., 7:15 a.m. Is that about right?
Yep, right
Yeah.
on there. 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. That was, 7-Eleven. 50 Cent, it's your birthday, is playing.
Go shoddy.
Of course.
There is a 12 speaker box in the back. They don't work though.
So no subwoofer?
It doesn't.
Doesn't work. It's just a box with two 12s in it
For aesthetics.
that does not work. It is actually the back seat.
Yep.
That is the back seat.
Yeah.
The box with the two 12s that are definitely indented. There isn't glass at the top. It's a speaker.
Sitting on speakers almost.
Yeah.
And for some reason, your turn signals won't work either because your buddy that helped you wire it didn't know what the fuck he was doing.
No, I didn't have a buddy that knew how to wire anything.
So you just put those speakers in there for no.
No, it came.
Oh, okay.
They came with the Jeep.
Oh, okay.
They came with the Jeep.
All right.
I'm driving. Okay. This is in Plumboro, Pennsylvania. There's a Diggs in the car. Okay. There's a Diggs in the car.
With a Z or an S?
Well, it depends on what social media platform.
Okay. Checking off all the boxes here.
Yeah. And then there's probably a guy named Hambone in there in the car.
Strong name.
Okay, blonde guy. He smokes.
Hambo.
He smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day now.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Sounds like a good guy.
And you just sit right on the left speaker box in the back while the three of us are in the car. Okay, driving. And you say, hey, 2018, the guy driving here is going to be calling an NFL football game at Lambeau. And then the next day is going to have to worry about a PR crisis with a private plane company. And the other guy in here, the dummy Italian guy, is going to be working in there. And he's going to have over 50,000 followers, basically. And they're going to listen to his sports takes. And you're going to look at him and go, ain't nobody ever going to listen to that fucking guy. I had that moment yesterday, man, when I was on the plane with no Wi-Fi. Because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything.
You just
right?
reflect.
So I couldn't do anything on there. It's just me and these two pilots. Good people, man. These guys were good guys.
Goodie bags?
Oh, dude, they gave me this. Hey, listen, Jetlings had no goddamn Wi-Fi on the plane, which is a technology issue.
Sure.
I work in the tech company. I work in a tech company, basically, and I don't understand a lot of stuff. I mean, that got me in some shit, but well, not really me, but no, not really at all. But you get it.
Yeah.
I understand the technology. If technology is the greatest thing, it's the greatest thing. But if it wants to be, it could be the worst thing ever,
Correct.
too. If you're
Oh, yeah.
relying, I understand that happens. So the Wi-Fi, and also we're on an airplane. A flight attendant told me that one time.
Yep.
Did the pilots
Not
at
good.
least watch the game so they could give you a couple feedback or something? Or
So
what?
they did have the game on. They flew over though, and didn't. They got there like third quarter or something like that. So there's a lot of plane checks you got to do. They heard the end of the game though.
Okay.
So they heard the end of the game when it was 31-zip, which we will get to in the thing. But they were very nice. Took my bag. The people that did the flyover,
Okay.
the badass Air Force. They were in there. It was 3 dudes and a lady. They had their full green jump.
that's cool.
It was awesome. They were sitting in there, and as soon as I get there, they give me like a good game, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, cool. And he was like, did you see the flyover? And I was like, oh, you guys are the flyover. He was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, that was awesome. And I started asking them. I was like, well, how's that work? The timing, right? Because I've been a part of games where the lady's basically like, oh, and boom. Like it's nowhere near right. Like the time is nowhere near right. So I asked him, he's like, oh, they normally give us the time. They do a fly around in a circle and then they hit that thing running. It was good. I talked to them. The Jetlinks people, very nice people. They go in there and I walk on the plane and I look and they just have this like box and it was like it felt like it was just a gift box to me. Reese's, like a 16 pack.
Wow.
16 pack of Reese's were sitting there.
How many did you dent on the flight?
I took down 2 of the packs, but I took the rest with me.
Good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stole those directly out of that
They
plane.
were a
later.
gift.
Then there was 2 family size bags of M&M peanut M&Ms.
Oh, no.
Score.
Family size, not the small basic ass, not the even tiny little Halloween kid size, not the convenience store peanut M&M size,
Costco.
not the sharing size, the family size. 2 of them. down there. Then there was an option for a keto thing over here.
Yeah.
There was an option. There was like a portable protein pack, I think is what it's called, P3.
Yep.
It has like a keto. It's
the
only like
black and green
4.
packaging.
It only has 4 grams of carbs in the entire package. It has turkey,
Some nuts.
turkey jerky in there. Turkey jerky. They have
right.
sunflower seeds and they had some other nuts. A lot of them though.
Yeah.
A lot of them. So that was definitely an option.
Yeah.
Well, there's no way you're going over to that side. What's happening over here?
What
is
am I,
okay.
a forager? I'm not going to I'm not trying to live in the forest.
You got the biggest bag of peanut M&Ms you ever seen. And
I ain't no gatherer. I am a fucking hunter. Give me the M&Ms. So I get in there. I obviously house the family size M&Ms. That's it, because once you pop,
can't stop.
you can't stop. What was that? Last week I walked over towards where the peanut M&Ms were. It was in a jar, and I opened it up, and Connor goes, "Oh no, oh
It
no!"
was early. It was like 11 o'clock. I was like, you want to set your day on this path now? That's what you want to do?
Soju, you look like a complete asshole.
This is my favorite purchase of my entire life. I don't
it's
think
his
I've ever
flight
worn
suit.
something.
You look good. You look good.
Yeah. Ready for
So
space.
we'll talk about that definitely at some point. But then I get on I sit down. We do the takeoff thing. Pretty good. They let me know that at Higher, where they just came from, was quite a ride. So we're gonna stay low. He said,
Okay.
we're gonna go a little lower. And I go at that moment. I go, Wi-Fi low. He said, no, we'll just be a little bit lower than we were. Wi-Fi were. I'm like, perfect. So we sit down. We take off. I do one last scroll on the timeline and
make
the
it a good one.
mentions right before we take off because the Wi-Fi doesn't go until you get to 10,000 feet.
Right.
Okay, on any plane, by the way,
Correct.
not just private planes. I don't know why.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Does anybody know why that is?
Why is that?
Closer to satellites?
It's the same reason. What?
I don't know.
That's why the Wi-Fi is so much better on planes.
Took a stab at it.
The old college try.
Why is it only a
It
10?
screws with the knobs and the whistle.
Correct.
It's got to be something about
I
the
don't
speed.
buy that.
That's what they'll tell you.
Same
If
reason
that
why.
motherfucking plane is going to go down because I open up Twitter, I would like to get off that fucking plane.
Same reason why you have to be on airplane mode.
Yeah, see, I think airplane mode was at the beginning when everybody was. It was like 2000, the year 2000, when they thought the computers were going to shut down. I think that's how everybody thought.
They said you couldn't have iPods at one point. You remember that? Like, turn off your iPod.
I think there was a lot of.
I
like,
think they want you paying attention to what they're trying to preach about safety instructions.
No.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
they're
I'm just
still
saying
telling
that's their
people-
spin.
They're still telling people how to fasten that seatbelt. If they don't know how to figure out that seatbelt, let them die.
I agree.
Let them fucking
agree.
die.
I, for one, think car seatbelt should be that, by the way. The same way as the airplane is, I want my car seatbelt to be the same thing.
Wow.
That's a
never-
funny thought, though. If you
I'd
crash
never.
in a plane, you're coming at a way faster speed, right?
Just a little bit.
No, I think they pretty much know you're going to be dead if you're. The seatbelt does nothing on a plane.
No.
The seat back up is my problem.
Okay.
Let me get a little slouch.
Yeah.
Let me get like a little slouch.
Not on takeoff.
I'm telling you, there's some of those like you get on like a commercial, obviously, guys.
Yeah.
Commercial
Oh,
planes.
the regular ones, right?
Yeah, and you have some of them flight attendants who like break out a ruler if your seat's a little further back than the one next to you. They're like up. I'm like up. I don't think. I must have hit it when I was sitting down. Yeah, that's on me. You always gotta act like you didn't. But I get on that plane. We take off. Right a little bit lower. Beautiful flight. The incredible flight. The two pilots were very nice men. No Wi-Fi, right? So
No
my,
Wi-Fi.
my last swipe there, so Gorman wouldn't let them know, by the way. That
Oh, yeah, I'm
we
sure.
are not happy about that.
Gorms.
No, they're fine with me. They just fucking hate you.
So I sit down. This might be why I even mentioned it in a group conversation earlier to you, is because it was the first time where I had nobody to talk to. It was literally just me, and there was no way I was falling asleep. I was wide awake. Those two pilots up there were doing their thing. Phone's completely off. I don't play video games. And there was nothing except for me and my peanut M&Ms.
Hey, it's lonely at the top, bro.
Hey, man.
Lonely at the top.
I had nothing. And
What'd you do?
that was the first time I started like really reflecting on anything. Like all those rock pictures that he posts on those planes, and like Kevin Hart looking out and Gary V looking out the window. I had like one of those moments. I was looking out the window. I was like, man, this is fucking insane. And then while I was looking out the window talking, I was like, this is how Gary Vee gets his money. I should set up a thing. I should somehow set up a camera on this for whenever. Oh, I get it now. It all makes sense. And I just started like reflecting on everything. It was an hour-long flight, and it was insane. And I'm just so grateful for like you guys. Obviously, very, very thankful for you guys every day. I don't know how I'd be able to deal with me on a daily basis. You guys do. I appreciate that. I was so grateful to the Fox people for letting me do that, man. Because whenever I was thinking about retirement, I had a pseudo agent.
Yeah.
That I think Gorms, you gave me the name to, actually. Not just you. There was like 4 people gave me names. 3 of the people gave me the same name. You were one of them. So when I didn't have an agent, the last year I was thinking about retiring, going into the season, basically.
Yeah.
Going into the season, I'd met Todd. I had chatted with him, and I'd done stand up at this point. I did a lot of stand up. I was starting to really enjoy it. I was starting to fall in love with everything off the field. Didn't want to go to training camp. It was the first year I didn't want to go to training camp. I was like, I don't want to go. I want to continue doing everything else that I'm doing. I didn't enjoy the GM obviously at the time, but I just didn't want to go. And in the NFL, when you're a punter, there's only 32 jobs. Okay, so there's only 32 jobs. So you got to like really commit to that if you want to. It deserves the respect of your full commitment, full attention.
Sure.
I think that's a big fucking deal. And I didn't want to go. I was like, I don't even want to fucking go. I don't even want to go to training camp. I don't know anything about it. I was living with Sam at the time. I still am, but I was enjoying like just everything off the field more than that. So I started talking to Todd a little bit, and I had a couple different angles. I was like, if I retire, I think at that point I had maybe 700,000 followers or something like that, 600, 700,000 followers. And I was like, I don't have an agent, but I need a TV agent who will let me know if any of these networks would just take a shot at me. Maybe that'll be my next job, right?
Yeah.
Everybody goes football into media if they have any personality at all. If you can speak into a microphone at all, one of these networks hires you.
Especially ESPN.
A lot of basic, bad talking motherfuckers.
Yep.
Get paid a lot of money by these networks to talk in. There's some very talented people talking into microphones on all platforms, but there's a lot of very terrible humans talking into a microphone making a lot of money. So in my head, I was like, okay, so that's what I'll do. I'm not in love with this anymore. Being in media, talking about football, and doing things off the field is what I'm enjoying anyways. It'll be a perfect tie-in. This will be a perfect tie-in. So this guy, I get this name, this agent, TV agent, he just worked a big deal with ESPN. So I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, I've gotten your name from, and I listed off the names that gave me his name. I was like, is there any way if I was to retire after this year, go to the Pro Bowl and retire after this year, would any of the networks want anything to do with me, you think? And I sent him like some of my information and stuff like that. I sent him my stand-up, 90 minutes of stand-up, first time on the stage, no paper, no big deal. Sent that to him. Did the whole thing. He came back to me the next morning. It was like, nobody would be interested. A lot of quick answers.
Yikes.
A lot of quick answers, he said. Quick answers, his exact words. So I was like, oh, okay. I told him I expected it, though. I kind of expected that because none of the networks would let me on TV when I was in the game anyway. So I'd be crushing it on social media, but none of the networks, except for NFL Network, by the way, who let me on a show that they canceled and then never called me back. But no networks said they would give me a shot. So me and Todd started talking, and we were going to build our own app. I was going to build my own app. I was like, you know what? I want to love what I'm doing again. I loved when I was in the NFL, like for 6-7 years. I want to just love what I'm doing. I want to be excited to go to work. I want to do this thing. And we start building the app. And it becomes a point where we were just going to make the app, make content on there, and just wake up every day creating things. Right.
Yep.
We're going to do stand-up. We're going to make podcasts. We're going to do this. Dave obviously caught wind, gave me a shot, said, hey, we just want to help you pay for it, basically. We want to do business for you. We want to teach you the internet. Dave Portnoy was really the only media member. And I was writing this last night on my phone. He was the only media member that had any vision of what I could be or what we could be.
Oh, yeah. He saw right away.
Wanted to invest the whole thing, right? Knew that I wouldn't fit in New York, basically. He was very excited for me to run my own operation out here. They just wanted to handle the business. And I thought about that last night, and I was like, man, Dave Portnoy, that motherfucker, really the only guy that gave me a shot. Then there's Michael Cole with the WWE Network who lets me do it, and I'm so thankful for them. And then for the last 3 months, I've just been shaking hands with all these people who make all these decisions, and they've all been very nice. Everybody's been very nice to me, but nobody's really given me a shot. And then Fox pulled the trigger and let me do a game at Lambeau. I am so grateful for that. I am so. And then the Detroit Lions, who I'm friends with their special teams guy, Devin Fitzsimmons. He's not their head guy. They fired the special teams coach. He's not their head guy. They didn't bring it. They just made the assistant in charge, but they didn't name him the head guy or whatever. Friend of mine. Prater is a friend of mine. Sam Martin's a friend of mine. They deliver a gift.
Dude, I said if I could have bet on that, that was almost the most universal guarantee of all time that something like that was going to happen.
They delivered a gift to me.
Yes.
That was as soon as I see it happening, you hear me go, ooh, like you. It's exactly how I am. It's exactly how I am. And I say this not as like I'm not embellishing at all. That is exactly how I am when I'm sitting on these couches over here watching 6 TVs for the last year and a half on Sundays. That's exactly what I'm like.
It was genuine.
Just waiting for a touchdown.
Yeah, you called touchdown like 2 seconds.
And that move was perfect because I was listening to you guys and I'm looking at my phone because I'm thinking, okay, here we go, it's a kick, and then I heard the and I'm instantly I'm up on the TV like, what's going to happen? And that beautiful fucking moment happened.
It was, and in my head while I'm doing it, by the way. So there's some rules that I've been learning over the last couple of days, like play-by-play makes the call of the play, then you chime in afterwards, right? And it's obviously when you're sitting on a couch very high doing it with your cell phone, there's no rules. You can just do whatever you want. So as soon as I see the ooh, and then you hear me go, touchdown, let's go! They had to turn my microphone. They turned my microphone down so the guy could call it. And then I heard nobody talking, and I was like, all right. Here we go. And in the back of my head, I was like, this is exactly like motherfucking For the Brand videos. So while I'm doing it, just like I do, because my For the Brand videos are only one take every single time. If it takes me more than one take, I don't do it. And I enjoy the pressure that I kind of put on myself to finish it, right? So it's like in the back of my head, while I'm doing it in Lambeau, is the same conversation I'm having with myself in these TVs over here. It's like, yo, this is going to be a good one. You only get one shot at this. Do not fuck this up. And I went rolling, and I got so close until I didn't know the exact score. To make this a 13. God. And in my head, I'm like, blew it? You fucking blew it. And then every time I listen, because obviously it's done pretty well, that video, I listened to it a couple times, and I was like, yep, you can fucking hear me lose it. The whole conversation's happening in my head, like, you fucking blew it right there at 13. It was
I thought you saved it.
It was a magical moment,
You tied a boat on it with the magical at the end.
Yeah.
Before they went to break.
See,
It was. I appreciate that. That means a lot. But I'm so thankful for Fox letting me do that. And I would not guarantee that I will be in a booth next year. By the way, I would not guarantee it. After all, I would, but I would hope.
Yeah, I would bet on it. But were you glad that your first one was at Lambeau? In the fucking cold, in the open booth,
December.
like the old, you just had such a nostalgic feel of seeing you guys in your fucking winter coats.
I didn't know.
great coat, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a good looking coat.
4 or 5 emails happened for that jacket because I didn't have a winter dress jacket.
Yeah.
I only have big ridiculous jackets. So going into I found out on Christmas I was calling that game. So going into that game, I didn't know if I had to go buy. I was sending emails I don't know how to ask this question. Do I have to go buy a jacket right now? They're like, oh, we might be able to get you winter jackets from LA or whatever. And I was like, okay. And then a day happened, then another day happened. It was Friday, or it was Thursday. I was leaving on Friday. Did I leave? No, when
You left Friday morning.
Yeah, I was leaving on Friday. So it was Thursday then at 3 o'clock. I sent an email hey, any chance these jackets are coming in? And no answer. So me and Sam go and buy a jacket. So I got this dope.
Peacoat.
Oh, I got this dope black jacket. And right after, I couldn't have been less than 4 minutes after I bought that thing. Couldn't have been no less than 4 minutes after I bought that thing. Get an email. Winter jackets from LA coming. I'm like, okay, good. Okay, good.
Well, you need one.
You got one now.
So I wore that jacket around Lambeau.
Yeah.
I look like a classy motherfucker. I had them slippers.
Tell you what.
I had them slippers. I bought the scarf that
With
same
the
night.
great scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah, that played well with the Fox coat too.
Peacoat
though.
scarf look is almost undefeated.
All
So
time.
let's remember that I can't tie a tie.
Yeah.
So Sam Roberts has to tie my tie for the WWE Network.
Yep.
I didn't want to have that question with somebody at Fox. Like, hey, can somebody tie my tie? Because I feel like that would not give me a good one-up with Fox. So I was like, scarf, we'll just bury it. We'll just bury it with the scarf. So that was the idea with the scarf was I won't have a tie on. We'll just bury it with the scarf.
Good luck.
We walk into the booth though before the game, and they have it completely closed.
Yeah.
And there's a heater in there. So we walk into the booth, and it's like 60, 65 degrees. Still chilly, but it's still 60, 65 degrees. I'm like, oh, no, I don't have a tie. I'm going to have to wear this I'm going to have to take the jacket off and just have this button all the way up, black button up, basically. So then we go to the food. We come back, and it's wide open. I was like, I knew it was going to be cold here. Thank God.
For that call on the Prater touchdown, you said that there was silence. I figured it being a Prater touchdown that those two would have just both looked at you immediately for you to call it.
So I wasn't looking at it. Was tough to look at them, right? And there was that spotter in the booth too. He had some TV time, that guy.
Yeah,
Binocular Ben?
Brett's his name. He was a good guy. Good spotter. Because I'm so far away, I can't really get the benefits of the spotter. So, but that spotter, I guess, has a very important
Now,
gig.
was he sitting in between you guys the whole time?
Yeah, that was his position the whole time because I guess this has been interesting to learn, all the behind the scenes stuff, by the way. The amount of shit that goes into calling a game is insane, by the way. The amount of knowledge and questions and it's very fascinating. It's just like when I got behind for the WWE, I got to see behind it. It's very cool to see how how
the wheels
production?
turn.
How the sausage is made.
There it is. There you go. Hey, what did you go with?
I said
Wheels
how the
turn.
wheels turn.
Not bad.
Not bad, but sausage
Made
Green Bay.
is the
Yeah.
Oh, I had some good sausage over there
It looked damn good.
at Mason Crosby's bar. Anyways, so the spotter, learning about all these little positions is pretty interesting because I've never, like the press interview that we did with the player, the pre-production interview that happened. Like I've never been asked one of those, so I have no idea how those go. I have no idea how those are supposed to go. Well, we had to travel to Lambeau on Friday to meet, and we met with Aaron Rodgers, we met with Joe Philbin, we met with Kyler Fackrell, and Aaron Rodgers is the first one in there. Okay, Aaron Rodgers is the first one. So we're sitting in their media auditorium. It's like a team meeting room. Okay, so it goes up. They got the cameras on top, but it's only 5 of us from Fox sitting in the room with a table. So now we got to figure out how to sit here because we can't just go 5 across with Aaron to our left. So we stacked, right? A couple in the front row, a couple in the second row, and then Aaron would sit in the front, Joe would sit in the front. So that was an interesting little thing. So I ended up sitting right in the middle of the second row. So Aaron Rodgers opens the door. It's just a little door on the side of like an auditorium, basically, like a theater. He opens the door and just looks at me and starts laughing. And then walks over. He shakes everybody's hand. I went in for a handshake. He went over. And went to somebody else. And then he came to me at the end with like a dap up. I'm like, my man, thank you. We sit down, and he and I just had a conversation for like 5 minutes before anything started. And then we got into like the real production meeting. It was so interesting listening to like just the way those conversations go.
What kind of questions?
Well, that's so like the analysis, like Robert Smith is asking like hey, when this happens, what are you looking for? Then you're hearing things come out of Aaron, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even think about all that. Like I didn't even think about all that. And then I was asking questions just about like, hey, a lot of drama happening right now, right? I treated it just like an interview. I treated it just like an interview. I treated it exactly like an interview. And Aaron, man, he's good, dude. He is really good. His goal this year. My first question was, okay, week 17, no coach, no playoffs. Why is this a huge game, right? And he went into this run about how he wants to be respected in the locker room. All he cares about is the respect of his peers. If he's a leader, there's no way he can not play in a game that doesn't matter. Like, how is he supposed to ever talk to his teammates after that?
He didn't, by the way.
Yeah, did he wink after he said all that or not?
He played.
Yeah, very hard too.
Took that hit.
Hey,
it was over.
At a certain point in time, you got to be focused on your health. All right.
What about CTE in the future?
Yeah,
Exactly.
You think the guy who said in the interview, by the way, he said that he would challenge McVay in a memory contest if he wanted to. Ooh. And then I asked him, I said, well, is Jeopardy ever going to let you go against normal nerds instead of just celebrity nerds? And he said, I would like to. He said, I would like to do that. Aaron is a very...
Cerebral?
Hey, no, not cerebral. I think he's just like...
Smart.
I think he's a fucking genius. I think he is a very, very, very smart guy. Because Robert Smith asked him a question about a guy, and he called back like just like McVay did. Like in, I think it was like week 2 last year, he did this thing, blah, blah, blah. And then the person checked it was like, yeah, that was 100% right. It was just like, it was a very interesting thing listening to him speak about how he wanted to be respected in the locker room. And then I followed up with, like, when you were hurt, is that something you thought about? Like, it's going to be hard to be a leader if you're missing seasons because you're hurt. And he was like, absolutely. And he dug into this story about how he was, when he was away, how he was questioning himself and all this stuff. And he would hear, it was a very interesting thing. And then the McCarthy conversations, how McCarthy goes. So now it's basically a lot of, I don't want to say inside the building, but outside the building, everybody's eyes are, okay, if McCarthy's gone, then Aaron's thing. And he talked about how he feels that. He wants to be that and all this stuff, and how he wants this accountability factor kind of brought back in and all this. It was a very, very professional conversation. And it was, I wish we could, like, I wanted to tell Fox people almost.
We need to record this.
Like, you guys are trying to do digital shit. Like, this is the digital shit that you guys are trying to do.
They should.
It made no sense to me.
Do they say stuff that they're not supposed to say, and like they can't let it
They
get
say
out?
stuff that about the game plan.
Oh, okay.
So there's stuff about the game plan that they give a heads up to, basically.
Gotcha.
Like, hey, this could potentially happen. This could potentially happen. And I was told, like, on numerous occasions, like, anything they say in here, you are not allowed to tweet. Thank you.
Hey, there's a fake coming tomorrow.
Yeah. Exactly.
Did you bring up Danico, though?
No.
What did you say?
No, I didn't. It was a much more. It was a more football.
Time and place.
Yeah, it was a more football
Related.
football. I think he mentioned something.
There you go.
Seems like that's a really blossoming, like a good.
I know.
The way he mentioned it in the answer that he gave made me go, "Oh, they really."
Good spot.
Oh, there's something there.
Yeah,
It's real.
in my head, it wasn't my question, so I was just kind of like, I was listening, but I was like, "Oh, what can we go with next?" You know, like, you're always trying to see how we can continue the conversation in a flowing manner, as opposed to just like a multiple choice. How we do that. Right. So I'm like listening to every word he's saying, and then he said something about it in my head. I was like, oh. He was talking probably for another minute, but I was just thinking, like, good for Aaron. It seems like he's got a real good for Aaron here. It was cool. And then Joe Philbin comes in. He laughs. As soon as he opens the door, he laughs on his way in. And we have a full conversation with him about how he enjoys, like, those are his people, he says, basically. Like, Green Bay's my people. I went to Miami. It was a lot different. Green Bay is my people. I really like this place. He's not, I don't think he's expecting to be the head coach at all, but he is definitely said, like, yeah, I would be honored to be a head coach here. Basically all the things you would think about. And I asked him about how meeting him versus my perception of him was one of the biggest drastic changes I've ever had in my entire life. Normally, my first impression of a human will last for a long time. Normally, pretty good reader on things. But with Joe Philbin, whenever he got signed to the Colts, I was with Vontae, obviously. Vontae's in the training room. And he signs with the Colts, and everybody just turns to Vontae and goes, Vontae! I didn't really know because I hadn't watched Hard Knocks, but everybody else, right? And they go like, hey, Philbin's coming. He's like, man, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He just, he's a good guy.
Did you see his commercial? Why he quit the game? Why he walked?
Yeah.
Fantasy
one.
Yeah.
I thought it was a wild PR move. It was a wild PR move, but he probably got paid well, so good for him. But so then I went back and watched the Hard Knocks after that whole situation. People were telling me, like, the trainers who are very hilarious humans were like, oh, you got to see it. He gets straight and Vontae goes, I got to call my grandma. You have to see it. So I went back and, like, binge watched it, basically. Yeah. And I thought Joe Philbin was just like the most dull, terrible. I'm like, God, this fucking guy's coming in here. And then the London massage happens, where he's in the room. And then after that, it was like every day we had some sort of conversation. And my thought of him completely 180. It was complete, because he's just a dry sense of humor human, like a very dry human. So the Hard Knocks doesn't do him well, right? So Hard Knocks will not do Joe Philbin's comedy justice.
Because you need him to grow on you.
Yes, exactly. Okay. You need to know what's coming. Yeah. Like, you need to know how, like, what he's saying and how you should take it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's a shit talker, but it's very subtle and very polite, but he is absolutely talking shit on you. He's from guy. Yeah, I think he's from Winchester.
Yeah. No, he went to Worcester Academy.
Worcester.
Worcester.
Worcester. But yeah, so I asked him that question and he laughed. He said, I don't know if that was a compliment. It was just like, it was the perfect line for him to say back. And he was like, he's found himself being more himself in this role. Right, cool. As at the Green Bay, he's found himself being more himself. He's keeping, and then I asked Kyler Fackrell about him being a head coach. He's talking about how team meetings are light. Everybody kind of gets him, and it's been a cool thing. And Aaron obviously talked very highly about him publicly and stuff like that. So I don't think he's expecting it, but those conversations are very interesting to be in. And I was, the whole time we were in it, I was thinking to Fox, like, do you know how many views? You know how many views this would get, this conversation right here? Yeah, it's a podcast, basically.
Yeah.
It's a podcast with, it would crush.
Yeah.
Now, granted, though probably the NFL would not allow it. I mean, somehow somebody would not. I don't know how many things, red tape would have to get cut. Right. They would probably have to have final approval on the editing of it and all that stuff, which is cool, by the way. Even if they do want that, it's cool. But then we got it with Detroit now, too, right? The next day.
Right.
So we go with Detroit, and I don't really know. I don't know Matt Patricia. I don't know. I know of Matthew Stafford. We have common friends, but I don't know Matthew Stafford. And Darius Slay, I don't know him. So I didn't know how it was going to go, right? And Matt Patricia opens the door. He gives like a smile while looking at me, and then puts his head down. He's like kind of it was an interesting thing. And then he shakes my hand, and I'm like, Coach Patricia, honor to meet you. And he said, no, honor to meet you. And I was like, let's go. All right, here we go. This is going to be a good conversation. But I had my fucking big jacket on.
Okay.
I had my big jacket on, and I couldn't take it off. And we're in this conference room in a hotel because I had gone to Titletown earlier, and the only hoodie I had was this one. So I had a sleeveless hoodie on underneath the jacket, and I got back from Titletown as our car was leaving to go to Appleton, Wisconsin, which is where they were staying, which is a 20-minute drive. So I didn't get a chance to run back into my hotel room to change my shirt. So I had the sleeveless hoodie on and my peak coat on. And Matt Patricia earlier in the year had yelled at reporters for slouching. So there was like, there's no way I can walk into this with a sleeveless hoodie on. So I kept my peak coat jacket on the entire time. So I'm just sitting in this conference room in the bottom of the Detroit Lions hotel, sleeveless hoodie on, pea coat on, jeans, and I'm obviously perspiring, right? I'm obviously sweating, just going through this entire conversation. And in my head, I'm just thinking, Matt Patricia, I wonder what he is thinking. Because Robert Smith asked a question, like a technical football question, and I just got sweat just dripping down my face.
I feel like you have a wiretap on.
Yeah. I was like, what is Patricia thinking, I wonder? He was a good conversation too, man.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
How
you
was
said
he?
that on broadcast.
Did he have the pencil behind his ear for the
He
interview
did.
too?
I said, hey, what's up with the goddamn pencil, you know? And that was my actual question. We got to the point where I could ask that question to him in the conversation, by the way. The conversation went well. And he was like, I don't know. It's just my thing.
Yes, about being late to meetings.
Yeah, he answered that earlier in the week like 5 times.
Yeah.
So he and the Detroit media, I guess, have a very interesting relationship. They've met over 115 times this year.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah, and that number was told to us by the PR person. I was like, because they, by the way, this is the most research I've ever done for anything in my life. I was reading through every article that came out about the Lions or Packers the week. They send it to us in a sheet. They send it to us in an email, and I was reading all. So any email I get, everybody thinks I don't check my emails because I don't respond to them. I read every motherfucking email. I want to know exactly what's going on everywhere. And they kind of set me up because these emails were like 14 articles together. So I read one, and then the next one's like, could this be it for Matthew Stafford? I'm like, well, I have to fucking read this then. So then every article, though, so I read like all these articles, and all week he was answering questions about this, all week. And all he kept mentioning was outside the locker room, inside the locker room, which very much, I understand that, right? Like I had a lot of problems with GM Grigson, but I never said anything until after the season. I would have never said it. You know what I mean? Like I almost did. Honestly, I almost did. But during the season, everything outside the locker room is exactly what it is. It's noise. And that's basically the sentiments he echoed when somebody else asked a question about it. It was somebody else asked the question to him about it, got brought up, and then his answer basically was really solid about how I'm trying to get a group of guys in here that focus on the little things, you know, fundamentals. I was like, what do you want your team to be known as? Matt Patricia's Detroit Lions, what do you want them known? He's like, the guys that get the fundamentals right. We're the guys that do things right. Our concepts are right. We're doing everything. You could tell he's very much the do your job thought, right?
Oh, yeah.
Very much a do your job. And by the way, whenever Robert Smith said something during the game, which was very accurate, and I never thought of it, he said, when you have vets in that situation and you're trying to work fundamentals, he mentioned like some vets aren't going to enjoy that. Like, hey, let's work on play design instead of fundamentals. This is year whatever. And you can't be, by the way, you can't fault the vet who's been in the league for a long time. There's a reason they've been in the league for a long time, and they might just not enjoy it. So whenever the he's lost his locker room thing comes out,
Like week 1.
yeah, it's you can tell, you can see why. It's because he's very much changing the culture up there.
I love it.
And I think I'm interested to see how it goes because the Belichick disciples don't do great. But after talking to Patricia, I think he has a real personality. I think he has an actual personality.
And nothing has worked in the past. I don't know why people don't buy into it yet. You got to give it some time, you know?
You got to have success, man.
Stafford's gone, bro.
No.
You can't. That's a $30 million thing, man.
I'm just saying package
Everyone's-
deal. He's not a Patricia guy. He's not a Bobby Quinn guy. I can see him dealing with this quarterback hungry leave.
I can understand that.
Early take.
Ask Patricia about it. I asked Stafford about it, right?
Right.
I asked Stafford about it, and that was when I got the word Woodward, by the way.
Yeah.
Great call.
I had
Love
no
that.
idea
It was
what.
very well done.
Yeah, right down Woodward. Well, I said right down Broadway, so everybody else knew what the fuck it meant.
Yeah.
And then I was like, right down Woodward, right? Because whenever Matthew Stafford, I asked him about, because he gave a couple quotes during the week in those articles that I read about how he wants to be a guy who's known to stay on one team. He loves the city of Detroit, all that stuff. So I asked him, I was like, you mentioned wanting to be on one team, and you love the city. Why do you love the city of Detroit? And he went on a little run about how much he's seen the growth from 2009 till now, how he's seen the city transform and all this stuff. And he said, and I very much want to be a part of a parade down Woodward. And I was like, what the hell's a Woodward? He was like, it's like our main street.
When you said that, I was like, okay, Pat.
So I was like, so is Woodward a good time? And he gives me a wink. He's like, it's a nice place. And I laughed so hard in the meeting. And I was like, oh, Woodward's going in tomorrow for sure. And I wrote it down. And then the Tom McAuliffe, that open line, that's Patricia's like friend since he was a kid. So I said, when did this coaching dream start? And he was like, when I was a kid. I was like, yeah, I need an age though. And he was like, I don't. 10? 10. Playing electric football with Tom McAuliffe. I was like, that's going in tomorrow for sure. I was like, I'm going to say that. He was like, okay. I was like, all right, perfect. Because it hasn't been a dream for him this year. There's been a lot of drama, man. A lot of drama up there.
Okay.
But it feels as if all his answers are very much like, okay, he's got good shit coming, you know?
And you mentioned the whole Belichick Patricia thing. They feuded for a while, so it would make sense that the one coach that, Belichick and him kind of butted heads, when he leaves, it would make sense he's the guy to kind of take that coaching tree up a notch, if you will.
Him and Bill still talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, him and Bill still talk.
Bill's a good guy.
I asked him on the way. I don't know if I'm supposed to say. Yeah, I don't think that matters.
Kinda.
I asked him on his way out. I was like, "Will you still talk to Bill?" And he was like, "Yeah. Me and Bill talk all the time." And I was like, "Okay." And that was like a throwaway comment to him, I think. But to me, that was like in my head, Belichick. As soon as you leave New England, he lives in like the fucking Truman Show.
Yeah.
Like I think he is.
Blinders up.
Yeah, in my head, Belichick lives in the Truman Show.
Patricia died when he walked out of Belichick's
like
door.
Biodome. You know, like he's inside there. Yeah, it's exactly what I think. So it was cool to hear that from him, mostly because of how that made me think about Bill Belichick. So it was like a cool.
Well, it humanized him a little bit.
Yeah, it really did.
Which you don't see.
This whole year has, huh? The whole year really has. I mean, he was he said Merry Christmas the other day, so that's not a Belichick staple.
What?
Yeah.
Everything's different. I've been saying this.
Since August, since that goddamn hat.
I've been saying this.
Since that fucking Minnesota Timberwolves game.
It was cool. It really
What
was.
kind of presence did Stafford have in the room? Like compared to a legend like, Aaron Rodgers, when he comes in, do you feel the same? Like, this guy?
I don't know. So that was kind of, I was just on a Detroit show.
Oh, yeah.
For an hour and a half. Christ,
Wi-Fi guy.
mighty.
I did not know it was going to be a full podcast conversation. It was 40-some minutes. They were very nice, though. They were very nice. I honestly thought it was a live show hit. I didn't know, but they were very nice people. But they asked me a question about the similar type of thing, because they said, I guess people call him like the lawyer of the locker room instead of like the leader of the locker room, where he just wants to be one of the guys. He doesn't want to be a leader. He just wants to. They asked that question to me, and I had no idea that's how Detroit felt about it until that question was asked.
That would be the impression I would have.
He's not like the guy.
Like where Peyton or Aaron Rodgers walks in,
Right.
people are like, "Oh, hey, just quit horsing around, quit grab assing." You know what I mean? This is serious. I wouldn't see that with Stafford.
Well, I think Aaron too has a good relationship with his
He
teammates
does,
too.
yeah. I mean, he's like a jokester and a prankster too. But I think everyone knows, like, when it's time to get down to business, like
Well,
he's ready to
If
go.
he gives you a look, you're like, "Oh."
They both had that cool demeanor to him, right? Matthew Stafford has had a rough year though.
For sure.
He's had a rough year.
So dinged up too.
Yes.
Offense was
Lot of
moving
sacks.
pieces too. Carry on didn't start in the beginning. Golden Tate's gone.
Aaron's very injured.
Yeah, big time.
By the way, I'm not talking about just from the game. I'm talking about you get these reports. Like I got a chance to look at these reports. That first game. Oh shit! Story. This. If they would have recorded the conversation about week 1, Aaron Rodgers, between he and I. That thing has more views than the call of the Prater touchdown, for sure. He called it. Aaron Rodgers called the comeback, the miraculous comeback in week 1 at halftime. He knew what was going to happen. He told it. They think he has a torn ACL in the field because they can't find the bottom of his ACL. So they do that test where they grab your thigh and your shin, and they try to find basically if your ACL is still attached or ripped. They do like a little test. They couldn't find it on the field because his knee had been so swollen. They couldn't find it. So they take him off the field. Aaron Rodgers basically thinks he has a torn ACL because that test, they can't find it. Trainers think that. If you remember, TV announcers thought that. All of Green Bay thought that. Everybody thought that. He goes into the locker room. They do some x-rays. It's not a torn ACL. It's something else, but it's swollen. It's huge. He can barely walk. So he goes on. There's a backfield, I guess. He like is still suited up, and he starts like taking some drops and stuff. And the trainer's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, Aaron, I guess, asked the trainer, "What's the score?" And the trainer goes, 17-0. You are not going back in this game. And I guess he gave like a no. I think we can do something magical. And comes back out and does exactly what he says he was going to do. I would have loved to have been in the room after the game when the trainer walks in, because now they got to really deal with reality here. This is like, okay, we got reality now. And now we have, after that win, after the post-game interview happens, after you walk back into the locker room celebration, after you shower, after you get changed, and when you're in that training room, and it's just you and the trainer, and everything is subsided. I would love to hear that trainer just go, "You fucking son of a bitch." You know what I mean? Like, "You son of a bitch." That was odd. When he said that, I like stood up. I was like, "Are you serious?" He was like, "Yeah. Those conversations happened with the trainer." I was like, "Oh, I have to tell that story." And he was like, "Yeah, you do whatever you need, man." I was like, okay. I was real excited to get it in there because he called his shot.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest moments of the NFL season.
It was.
Opening week there. Aaron Rodgers is out of basically out.
Game's over.
Yeah.
He's out.
Season's over.
Season's
Season's
over.
over, yeah.
Khalil Mack is all the way back with Chicago. He just made $90 million guaranteed. Oakland Raiders are tanking. Oh shit! Chicago Bears, one of the most storied franchises in history, who hasn't been good in a long time. Really good. And then that dude just fucking. I think we can make.
Hey,
some
I had my own, and you guys can back me up on this. Same thing. We're the trainers. You're Aaron Rodgers. Follow me. A week ago, am I off by a day or two? That he said, "I want to call an NFL game." Remember?
Who?
You.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah.
9 days ago, I want to call an NFL game. What do? Let me call Fox. Fox. Okay, why don't we come out here? You'll do a dummy game.
I completely forgot about.
Hey,
us
we'll do
doing
a dummy game. Okay, I'll grab AQ Shipley. He'll be I'll do play-by-play. So you don't see guys leave the field, go to play-by-play. I'll do color, I'll do play-by-play. We're like, okay, we'll get it done. You fly out to LA, do a dummy game. You're in their studios. The big wigs are behind you watching. Fast forward 1 week, Willy fucking Wonka is calling an NFL game. I mean, you talk about putting it out in the universe. The universe listens, but that's a magical touch. That's why we're the trainers. He's Aaron Rodgers in this.
That's just Pappy and Pat.
That's what I mean.
then
Diggs, you've seen this forever.
The fake happening.
It was so.
Oh yeah, like I said, if I could have bet on that fucking happening.
I got a question about that. Did you see the guy going out wide?
Yeah.
So you kind of saw it coming?
So our job, we ran the hide. If I could get Colts practice film, me and Jack Doyle ran the hideout play against our field goal team 4 times a day, probably. 4 times a day, we tried to just fuck. So like Tom McMahon would be like, twos are in. So the one O-line would leave the field and the 2 O-line would come in just so they can work on the footsteps, right? And that play is normally run where somebody can sub out. So normally you just jog to the side, whoever the wing is jogs to the sideline like they're subbing out, and then they just stand on the sideline, and then you set up your person and hope that the end guy on the defensive side of the ball, that's their job, is to look outside in to make sure nobody's out there, and then look in, and then their job is to make sure everybody's on side, and then they rush the kick, right? That is 100% their job. That guy might have been new, might have never been there before. Because with special teams guys, because there's a lot of people coming in.
A lot of turnover.
So you can take advantage of people like that. So literally, Vinatieri has thrown a touchdown like that before. I think there's been a few of those before. This is like the classic old school fake in special teams. It's like the OG fake. So Jack Doyle was the wing on the ones and the twos. So every time the twos were called in, Jack Doyle would jog to the sideline to just stand there, and then our left end would just open up as he was the wing, and then we ran it. We ran it probably like twice a season. The corner would go guy, and everybody would stand up. It's safe. It was a whole thing we worked. The special teams coordinator, not coordinator, is the assistant coordinator, Devin Fitzsimmons. I think he was on our team when that was happening. He's running the Lions special teams now. He knows, everybody in special teams knows that OG trick. And the fact that they were like, we should just give it, because it is 100% a check with me, with the person throwing.
Right.
If that corner goes out, it's no big deal. Guy just comes back in, lines up, we kick the field goal. It's just let's see if they notice. Oh, they didn't notice. Oh, shit, here we go.
Yep.
So it's very much like, let's just give it a shot and see how it goes. The fact that they did that is I love them.
Hey, you comparing him to Peyton Manning fucking killed me. And then the rest of the game, you were calling Prater the quarterback of the team.
That killed me.
When you were running the replay machine, did you realize you were drawing like
dick.
a penis, basically? And then you stopped?
Well, so
I noticed.
So that came up the night before, the telestrator, because they mentioned we had a whole, we ran through the entire game basically the night before. And they were like, telestrator will be to Pat's right, but in reach everybody. I was like, telestrator, the draw-on thing? They're like, yeah. I was like, we're going to have a telestrator? They're like, yeah. I was like, okay. Okay. All right. So then at night I laid down. And I was like, I can't draw a dick. Pat McAfee cannot draw a dick.
First NFL game.
I can't. They finally let me on TV.
First one. Yeah. First
They
one.
finally let me on TV. Like night before, I had an entire Finkel-Einhorn thing that was about to come down the pipe on a telestrator because Mason Crosby's had a rough year because a rookie snapper, rookie holder. Everybody thinks laces is on the holder. It's actually on the long snapper. So I was just waiting. And the walkthrough the day before, I saw a couple spins by J.K. Scott. Mason Crosby was kicking balls that were spinning. And they never kicked a field goal. They never attempted an extra point. But I was going to draw a dolphin on there for the Finkel-Einhorn. I ain't never prepared for a bit like that before in my life. And then I get on there, that happens, and I wanted to explain how the end corner guy, that's literally a job of his, is to look and see if anybody's out there.
Yep.
And I did start drawing. I started noticing I was a clear screen. Clear screen. I was like, can't do it.
You even stopped talking.
Hey, that's the most you thing of all time, though, to work up a bit like that, have it ready, have a plan for it, not to happen, but them to throw a touchdown off of a fake field goal.
I know, it's awesome. I love that they did that.
The most McAfee thing I heard yesterday. Did you see that ref? Pause. Threw that flag fucking 30 yards.
And the other guy goes into the wind.
I mean, you save the stats, save all that shit. Give me stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, that ref, I was going to give him something for his hat, too. It had a steep bend. Like he had a steep bend on the hat, like it was it's like a flat bill hat.
An aggressive turn.
Aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, like it was like 1999.
Yeah, I was
sit on that hat.
Man, as soon as I saw him come on the screen, I was just thinking like, all right, think of something good for that goddamn hat. In my brain, I couldn't find anything that was. I couldn't find
Just
anything.
calling it out and calling it an aggressive hat bend.
Exactly.
would've been-
The wardrobe comments kill, like you said right away. Stafford with the short sleeves today. Aggressive decision.
It was freezing.
It was.
I was free. I couldn't feel my face there. And it was windy too. Very windy, man. It was awesome.
Okay, I have a question. You mentioned Jim Bob Cooter potentially being his last game. Is that something they were like, maybe stay away from, or did they want you to say something like that?
No, because I was very open. That was in the media everywhere.
Okay.
So there was no comments about it at all.
Okay.
There was literally nothing either way. But he's I don't want to say a friend of mine, but a guy, if I was to see him, we would dap up and it would be a very positive experience from his time with the Colts.
Right.
So I thought Jim Bob Cooter deserved a little hey, this guy's done a great job today. Obviously, he knows this year hasn't been great, and he also understands the business too. Like I think that's all I was trying to get out with Jim Bob Cooter.
And you were like, oh, and what a great name.
Great. Obviously, I said.
Hey, how'd the bladder hold up?
I had to pee a couple times.
How was the Bucks?
Well, I didn't prepare. You know how I told you, like Michael
Yep.
Cole said, he doesn't drink.
Don't drink water.
Being
Yeah.
an adult.
I completely forgot. I was slamming hot tea before the game, just slamming it, and that tends to move quickly.
Yeah.
They had a bathroom in the thing, though.
Oh,
No, there
So
we
it's
go.
easy.
By the way, it was nice. It was nice. They got these suites next to us, though. these suites that are inside, they got to be the richest people in Wisconsin. Like all these people that pay for the inside
bet,
suites because
yeah.
everybody else is sitting on bleachers.
Oh yeah.
16 to 15 degree wind chill sitting on bleachers out there. Down 31 zip. That place was still 80% filled.
Yeah, well, they own the team, so they have to be there. You know,
Got a year-end meeting. Owners meeting coming up.
in the parking lot after the game. Yeah,
I met the president of the Packers. He played.
Murph?
He played in the league for 8 years. I didn't know that. He was an AD somewhere.
Northwestern.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. That's why everybody's calling.
Pat
Yeah.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah. Interesting stuff happening over there.
how about Robert's fanny pack? How did that
Love
play
that,
over the night before?
So he just showed up to this meeting with a backpack, and then all of a sudden his fanny pack's there, and I'm like, "Are you a fanny pack guy?" And he was like, I don't know why I haven't done it longer. I just started doing it. It's incredible. He said he had all his things in there,
Yeah.
And I was like, but it wasn't the fanny pack, just a fanny. It was the decoration
Oh,
of
it
his
was nice.
fanny.
Yeah.
It was loud.
It was a Nickelodeon.
It was like a spacey. Yeah, it was very. And after talking to Robert Smith, it came out of nowhere. In my eyes, it was like, this is off-brand for Robert Smith. This is awesome in my head, I think. And obviously, it had to be done.
Yeah, I mean, he held it up like a championship
Yeah,
belt
that
in
was
the
great.
booth
Funny.
during that little
That was
shot
a great
there.
moment.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Hey, just like you walked away at the top.
Robert Smith made
Sure
a Pro
did.
Bowl, retired.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that conversation at a place called Chives on Friday night, I believe. Cool place. A guy named Logan owns it. Logan, good guy. I guess the Roger. It's in the Rogers neighborhood. It's in the Aaron Rodgers neighborhood. So a lot of villages. Wisconsin's insane. We were in the village of a Schwababon.
Oh yeah, excuse me.
You heard me, man. A Schwababon.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Is that where you got the leather gloves?
No. I bought those here, but I should have. I should have waited to go to village of a Schwababon. And then to be like fun facts. They extended Green Bay City thing just for the stadium. The stadium is actually in a Schwababon. Everything around it is in a Schwababon. What is it, Ty? Do you know what it
I
is?
have no idea.
Schwabble
No.
one.
That sounds good.
I think it's
sounds good.
I think it's a Schwababon.
Schwababon.
That
But-
state's incredible that way. Yeah.
So then you drive 20 minutes and you go to the Oneida Indian Reservation, and they have their own rules.
Oh yeah.
They have their own fucking rules. Smoking in that casino louder than anything I've ever seen. They got their own police. I haven't been on a reservation before. Well, I have, I think, but a long time ago. I was a kid. I haven't been on a reservation as like an adult in a long time. Went into the Oneida's casino there. Very thankful for that tribe. They gave me a lot of money. I won a lot of money in that casino. But I had to get out of there quick, too, because the smoking. So shout out to the Oneidas. Legit shout out to the Oneidas. I learned about the Sky Woman. I learned about everything they believe in. I can fucks with the Oneidas. The Oneidas were going to get a big shout out during the game. I just didn't know how to work it in.
What's going on with Green Bay Uber?
Heidi's got a van. And
Just a minivan or standard leisure van?
oh, it was a standard minivan with the kids thing in
The seats?
in the kid. Yeah. And I hopped in the back, by the way, because it's not a. So I normally get the black SUV, right? Because I would like.
With the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because I feel like the person. I don't expect it. I don't expect.
Wouldn't hurt though.
I don't do much Uber though. I don't do much Uber. If I do, it's always in like New York or something like that. I don't do much of the Uber. But there was no option. You either get the Uber X or the Uber XL, I guess. And the Uber XL is just for parties of 6 or more people. Not if you want room. Right? Like all I wanted was room, and that was not what it was for. It was I got in there and it was like just you every time. Like I would shut the door and then they would sit and wait, like 2 seconds. Just you. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, sorry about that, there.
Yeah, what of it? Want some space?
Sorry about that, there. No, they were very nice though. They were very nice. I was in that minivan. And we were just sliding all over the place. To get to the Oneida Casino, we were just sliding all over the place. You would have thought she was like an ice road trucker. There was no worries at all. Everybody was just floating. I saw an accident. Somebody just slid into another person. Amateurs, probably from out of town.
No rubbernecking, kept it moving.
Just kept it moving.
Beautiful.
The guy sitting next to me at that Kroll's place, the butter burgers. The guy that got disgusted. So there was an intoxicated Wisconsin guy next to me. I did a little lap around Titletown because I wanted to experience Green Bay, right? And they have this place. It has a big sledding hill. It has an ice skating rink. There's a bunch of bars there, and there's like a couple legendary places. Hinterland, I guess, is right on the corner across from Lambeau. Mason Crosby owns a portion of that, I guess. So
I
it's
didn't know that.
literally Mason Crosby's bar. So I went in there. I had some cheese curds.
Oh, the best.
Have to.
Gotta do
Staple.
that.
I disagree.
Really? They weren't great.
I like
they
it.
weren't great.
I understand it is a staple, and I understand you do have to do that
Yeah.
because I did. I actually did have to do that. I didn't love them.
Really?
I was told I got the wrong color. I guess there's yellow or white. I went with the wrong color. I don't. To be honest, I don't know which one I got because
Really?
it was like toasted. So I
I prefer the white ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think everybody says
Yeah.
The-
Those yellow ones have a little bit of that cheddar aftertaste.
Oh, you don't like that Wisconsin cheddar? You don't like it?
Yeah.
I don't. I just didn't love it.
It's a little sharp.
I would rather have cheese stick.
Yeah.
Mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Oh, nice fried
A little
mozz.
mozzarella.
I'm a fried mozz guy, and I think in my when you pick up Sprite and you think it's a water.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I was getting into.
Okay.
That makes sense then.
It's not the same.
It's not.
I liked them. I put it in ketchup. I enjoyed it. I liked it. You what?
You did what?
Put it in ketchup.
Ketchup.
I don't think that's the.
Got to go marinara.
I would do that.
It's
Well,
it's
gotta go
not-
ranch,
It's
bro.
not.
What are you doing
It's
with the
not
ketchup?
breaded.
You can put anything in.
Oh,
ketchup.
so you just got just
Almost.
like the actual
You get
like,
cheese.
fried cheese balls.
Cheese.
They weren't breaded at all.
No.
Okay, well yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you put that in ketchup for sure.
Yeah, you do.
What are you talking? It came with ketchup. Like it came with a thing of
staple.
ketchup.
Well, there you
It's
go.
just we're used to fried mozz and marinara.
Yeah.
It's hard to adapt to another type of cheese and ketchup.
This is
So
the
I understand.
Oneidas.
I mean, I wouldn't have
Yeah, strong
disrespected them.
mozz.
I would have tried it.
I did try it. I ordered that, and then I ordered their meat spread too. I was like, got to do this.
That was probably awesome, wasn't it?
It was. I heard you. Somebody tweeted that they could hear Todd orgasm looking at that
Wisconsin
plate of
sausage
sausage.
is so-
Back to that Butterburger.
They put cheese in it too. Hold on, we're not there yet. They put cheese in that as well. So then I go. So while I'm there, some people. I guess we have a good following in Green Bay, by the way. We appreciate all you. Appreciate you so much for listening. While I'm there, there's starting to be a little bit, just a little conversation starting with people. And I'm like, where do I have to go next? And they're like, Kroll's. You need to go to Kroll's West right over there and get a Kroll's burger. It's like, it's been around since forever, 1919 or something like that. It's been around forever. It's right across one block over. So I walk outside. I see a kid wearing my jersey right outside. I'm like, my man, you're the best. I think his name was Trevor or Travis. Appreciate you, cuzzy. And then take a picture. And then a kid named Dominic from Miller Lite, the Green Bay Miller Lite, who got recognized because he's Dom from Miller Lite. It's just like in Wisconsin, I think everybody knows.
Oh, nice.
It's Dom.
Oh, you need a beer guy? Call Dom. You need a beer. He was a nice guy. He walks me over to Kroll's. I go to Kroll's. Not weirdest. Most interesting setup I've ever seen.
Smoking or no smoking in bars in Green Bay?
No smoking, but it's set up like a Denny's. And then there is a very intoxicated sports bar right in between all of the seats. So there was a 6-year-old in her family, probably 4 feet behind me, sitting in like a diner type table. And then to my right was this blacked out guy at 1:15 in a packed bar, not just like a packed bar. Only one seat was open at the bar. I sat there. Large bar, too. Probably like a 10-yard bar. 10-yard bar with a big island around it. TVs everywhere, but you can hear everybody. But the diner was also over here. I was like, oh, this is cool. Had carpeting.
Oh, really?
Classy.
Had carpeting. It was a step up to get on the backside of the bar. Like it was
Nice place.
yeah, it was cool. I was like, yeah, this is where I wanted. I wanted to be at something like this, right across the street from Lambeau. I mean, it was a really cool thing. And there's only one seat open at the bar, and I sit down, and this guy next to me is gone. I mean, this guy is gone, just muttering like words to himself. It's 1:15 p.m. and I'm like, I like this, right? Like I am a fan of. So I gave him like the he had like flowing hair. I'm like, great hair, cuzzy, you know, like hey, the hair looks good, man. And he was like, huh? It's like hair looks good. He goes, thanks. And I was like, no problem. He was like, and he starts mumbling to himself. I wonder if anybody's gonna give me my food. And then a guy it was like as soon as I sat down, I'm like watching him. A guy crossed the bar because we're kind of on the end of the turn there. We're in turn 4. They were sitting in turn 3. And it was an out-of-towners, 2 out-of-towners. And I knew that strictly because of this guy, because he was basically like telling the out-of-towners to stop talking. These out-of-towners. So then across the thing, somebody reaches up to somebody who's in the straightaway and is like, is there anywhere to buy hand warmers or foot warmers for tomorrow's game, you know? And he goes, hand warmers or foot warmers? It's going to be in the mid-30s, for Christ's sake. And he stands up and goes, I need my check. Pays his check, leaves within 45 seconds of that person saying that. Was so disgusted with the thought of somebody getting hand warmers with a 16-degree wind chill. He left the place. I started dying laughing, just absolutely dying. Nobody had a clue really what was going on except for this guy sitting next to me who was in the Navy, who was a big fan of ours. He was sitting like 2 seats down. He was watching it all unfold with his wife as well. And we were just enjoying it. Was a show, right? We were there for the show. Got a chance to stick with him. I ordered the Kroll's burger. My exact order was, hi, I'm from out of town. I was just told I have to come here. Order me, or can I have whatever I'm supposed to have? Right?
Yeah.
Smart.
The chef's choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm here for. I'm not here to get full. I'm just here to try whatever you guys
Experience.
have. She goes, Kroll's burger? I go, yeah. She goes, okay. She puts it in. So she goes, it's going to be like 45 minutes because they're packed. Place was packed. I'm like, cool. I'll just saddle up here, start having some conversation. My food and the Navy man food show up at the same time. He opens his. It's a double cheeseburger with cheese, melted cheese, and melted butter on it. I opened mine. It was a single burger with a stick of raw butter on it with lettuce and tomato.
Oh, no.
No cheese. No cheese. So the lady brings it over and puts it down, and I go, well, what did he get? And he goes, well, that's a double Kroll burger with cheese. I was like, what did I get? You got the Kroll's burger. I was like, I asked you what I should. Is that and it was like she's walked away. Obviously, she was very busy, right? So she gave me exactly what they're known for, right? That's probably exactly what they're known for. And I took a bite into that burger. Hey, they were doing some good shit with that butter in that burger. It was really. I couldn't finish the whole thing because I felt terrible eating just a stick of butter. But I took like 2 bites. It was delicious.
What kind of butter are we talking here?
It seemed as if it was just your standard in the stick, unwrap the plastic, cut it into maybe a quarter and just put it on. It was just a raw stick of butter in there. Wow. It was great though. I couldn't eat the whole thing, but it was great.
You can fuck up butter.
Yeah.
Salted or unsalted is a big deal on butter.
Hey, butter's legit. I know some people though that don't love the butter, but they just substitute peanut butter for every butter that they have.
Interesting.
That's wrong.
Really?
Everything that they do butter with, they put peanut butter on.
I mean, I've heard of
corn on the
big
cob.
butter. Big butter
Spread
guy.
it on there. Corn on the cob.
I've heard of peanut butter on a burger. That's like a regional thing. That's
I like that.
Somewhere does that. Like some city does
I like
that.
that.
That's
When it's done right, I like that a lot.
I'll stay away.
I think corn on the cob is really the only place where the butter or the peanut butter wouldn't work as the butter, right?
Popcorn.
Popcorn caramel, right? They make caramel popcorn. I assume that. I don't know.
Has your Twitter ever been as active as it was yesterday?
I don't know, man. I didn't get to see it.
It was everywhere, dude. It was everywhere.
I didn't have the internet.
I screenshotted the trends. Number 2 is Matt Prater, Pat McAfee, Detroit versus Green Bay, and then for the brand, of course. Was the third.
Was
On
that
top of-
worldwide?
Yeah, that was worldwide, I believe. This says United States trends, so
That's
definitely worldwide. Yeah,
That's your world. It's
America.
Hey,
that's the world.
Hey, that's cool. Now, that game, week 17, meant nothing.
Correct.
yeah blowout.
That was my favorite Lions game, and I've been thinking about it. I swear to God, in my entire life, I have not enjoyed watching the Lions more than I did then. I swear.
Hey, here's a big surprise. Also, my favorite Lions game I ever watched.
I mean,
I'm with you.
it was
Probably
it was
every-
pretty tough. But my dad is like in terms of being a cynic about the Packers, he's me times a million. And he texted me and he was just like, "Tell McAfee if it wasn't for him, I would have turned that fucking game on."
So I think the whole world would have.
Hold on. Not everybody though. There was some Green Bay Packers fans that were not happy with my antics while their team was losing 31-0. I got a couple bad ones, but I think it's more on them than me. You know,
it's being butthurt.
Hey, what do you?
Well, if the Packers win, they're happy.
It wasn't until halfway, maybe 3/4 of the way through the third quarter, that I even realized how shitty of a game it was.
Exactly.
I didn't even realize until almost fourth quarter, like, oh, this is a terrible football game. We got Deshaun Kaiser right now.
Oh,
and
I was so happy.
Why? You bet on the lines?
No, when Kaiser came in. I mean, that's my
He's a
brand.
part of your award.
Yeah. But no, I did take the under, so I was very happy when Kaiser came in as well.
But it wasn't until like the fourth quarter I was just so in. I was in, I was like just kind of like, let's just see how we can make this a fun time. And it wasn't until like the end of the third quarter I was like, wow, this is a dog shit. This is a bad football game.
Todd bet Packers.
Sitting next to Todd.
Oh, I had him for everything. I had wrapped him into 4 different parlays. It was fucking miserable. That part, but I enjoyed.
It was the most miserable I've ever seen Todd McComas in anything. I swear to God, it was unbelievable.
He goes McAfee bump. Packers gonna win.
Yeah, but I did to the Lions.
I'm like, there's no way. There's no
Detroit
way Aaron
loves it.
Rodgers doesn't score 50 points this
By the
game with McAfee in the booth.
You talked to Darius Slay. He had a hell of a game. How was he?
Not a big talker.
Yeah, that's what they said during the game. Too.
Yeah, not a big talker. Robert Smith said he loved talking to him, and he said he wasn't a big talker. He was right though. He was 100% right. It was cool talking. It was nice talking to him because he was just such a nice guy. But he didn't say much. It was like, man, you're a Pro Bowl corner, by the way, which is that's a different level. You're the best athlete on it. Corners are the best athletes on the field. They have to do the most insane shit. And he was just like very like just not really didn't want to talk shit on anybody.
Right.
He had this was before they knew Devontae Adams was going to be out of the game. He gave the singing praises of Devontae Adams, which you don't hear often, and then the conversation was like kind of over there.
Yeah.
Was he like laid back or was he intense? Like he had that laser focus type guy?
It was kind of like in the middle there. He was just very quiet. He didn't want to talk about. I don't know what he's like with his friends. I wonder what he would be like with the teammates. I don't know what he's like there, but with us, it was very very chill.
One of the guys was like, yeah, he played against Calvin Johnson all the time, so he kind of got that from him, which I kind of thought that was a great point.
Yeah, so he did tell us though that his entire first year, even when he was playing, he would do practice squad reps to go against Calvin Johnson. Because he was like, he started trying to name other people like Calvin Johnson. I was like, there's not many. He was like, yeah, but you understand why I wanted to play against. I'm like, yeah. If you get an opportunity to play against Calvin Johnson, you're going to do that. But it was, I guess he got cooked his first year. I guess he used to just get roasted.
He did,
I guess that was his thing. He used to just get crushed, and PR people were like, now he's a 2-time Pro Bowler, voted by the players. The fans obviously didn't vote for any Detroit Lions. The players and coaches voted him in.
Right.
And it was like, it's been a real comeback story for Darius Slay. It was big play Slay. He said, some people say I took that from big play CJ. I didn't. It was funny. I like the way he played football, though. On that one pass breakup, he was trying to pass that to the safety. And they did like a breakdown of it. And I was like trying to get in, and they're like, I understand his technique, but he just tried to throw that thing. He literally was trying to throw. You could see his eyes like try to throw it to his teammate. Like I couldn't even fathom being that athletic in the middle of a 50-50 ball, trying to bat it at the peak while somebody else is trying to catch it. Not just trying to break up the pass. Like oh, I should try to fucking throw this right over there.
Aim the breakup.
Yeah,
Pretty impossible.
It was, and by the way, it was. It wasn't an interception. I think that's why it wasn't talked about. But you could see with his eyes that he was like trying to do that, and I was almost mesmerized because we went into a commercial break right before that. Like, all right, we'll come back with his technique. Here's the highlights, and they show all 3 highlights. In the first one, I said, I think he was trying to pass that breakup, and they showed the first highlights from behind. And I was like, no. And then the second one, they showed his eyes. I was like, yeah, he's trying to pass that. And then the third one, they showed it again. I was like, are we not going to mention?
Is that what all commercial breaks are like? You just basically go over like what happened before that? Or
There's a lot going on. There's like, hey, this just happened. Hey, we got to get this in. Hey, this happened.
all producer stuff.
A lot of that stuff happened.
Was there a couple times you forgot you were on broadcast or like you're broadcasting because you were like commenting on like the overlays? There was a time when
they called you out. You were like, oh, that's pretty cool. You guys do that here with the 2 screens up. And they were like, oh, well, you're part of this too, Pat.
Oh, yeah. Well, because when I'm watching at home, and I noticed that State Farm started doing the State Farm commercial and then a image from the game. It was like a picture-in-a-picture commercial.
Yep.
Good idea. But from watching at home, I'm like, this is a good idea. This is a great way to get advertisers. Still watching the game. If anything happens, if a squirrel hops on the field, still can catch it, right? So I was like, I'm definitely going to talk about that. When the Orville commercial came out, I was like, good job with you guys doing that. It's a good idea. I don't know who's listening back at home, but I think this is a good idea. I guess a couple of the Fox producers that were working the game, they've been around Fox so long, they've had to promote a lot of Fox shows. And they were like, Tell you what, really surprised Orville made it to season 2. Not because we watched it, just because most of these shows that we do, they try, because all these, I guess they all try to promote the Fox shows every game. They're like we've promoted a lot of shows. A lot of shows. It's kind of like an inside joke there. Yeah. Orville, good for Seth MacFarlane.
I'm a big Orville guy.
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen it once.
Nope.
It has Family Guy humor. If you don't like Family Guy, you're not gonna like it.
Seth MacFarlane's brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good. I had a weekend of my life.
That's
cool.
fucking awesome.
It was
dude.
awesome.
It was
Yeah,
a great
it was cool.
fucking time to
It
watch.
really was.
Got a lot of fucking people, all my friends and everybody. Like that was fucking unreal.
Yeah.
Like they were losing their minds.
How about Indy not playing it?
Yeah.
Weird move.
I wanted to ask whose decision it is. I wanted to ask like the 5, but I'm not in enough, to be like, excuse me, who decides what game's going fucking where? I can't just ask that question. I can't. I wonder if it's the local affiliate.
Yeah,
that-
first you have to draw dicks, and then you get to those questions. That's how it works, I think.
I wonder who the local affiliates are. I wonder if the local affiliate decides though.
What were they playing here?
Yeah.
Dallas Giants, by the way, which was a great game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which made me feel good. By the way, imagine if that was a good game in Lambeau though. I thought about that on the plane as well. I was like, I couldn't even fathom what I would have been.
If they push you national,
I couldn't even if it's like the overtime game, if this is the Fox Extra.
Oh, you
Let's go
call
to Green Bay.
you
go to
call
Lambeau.
that would get crazy too if you call like an Aaron Rodgers like Hail Mary or something like that.
Oh, what if that fake field goal was to win a game to go to like the playoffs?
Jesus.
Hey, you think you'll be doing this every Sunday next year? Yes or no? Yes
Do you
or
want
no?
to?
Sunday's a wild.
Do you
day.
want to?
Just knock it down to one day? I don't want. I think there's a lot of days football is played on. I would like. I think I would want to. I enjoyed it a lot. A lot.
Get ready for it.
It's everything is. It's going to be very interesting.
You fly out on Saturday morning, 6 a.m. with the help of your friends at JetLinks with Wi-Fi, and it's doable.
If it ain't running, we ain't flying.
By the way, shout out JetLinks for that playing. A lot of reflecting time made this show, so I think it's good. It would have been a good time to have Wi-Fi, though. It would have been a good time.
I think the other networks are going to start hiring the Pat McAfees of the world. I really do, because every network.
By the way, there isn't. That is a very incredible conversation that you just started right there. I am excited to see who they try to do that with. I'm very excited. I'm not sure there's many others. I honestly, and that might sound very cocky, but it's real.
It's funny you said it earlier too, because like you have a blueprint, but no one else could copy it.
I don't know.
Because first of all, you take the amount of people who had a successful NFL career. That's a very small number of people, and now you're going to expect, all right, funny people in the world are like the top 1% of people anyway.
Hey, I was getting love from other comedians, by the
Yeah.
way. I was getting love from other comedians. That meant a lot.
You're going to take a guy who was in the 1% of the 1%ers with athletic ability in the football realm, and then also be the 1% to be of the 1% to be funny enough to be a comedian that's successful. Those two people never existed before. They don't.
I think that means a lot. By the way, I appreciate that. But not everybody's going to find me hilarious. But I do believe that there's a lot of people who are going to attempt to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch it. I am very excited to watch it. I want to do play-by-play though. I do. I really. If I do it again, I want to do play-by-play because I want to. I think I can. I think I can do it. I've been told by my agents, the agency I signed with, when I first asked them, I was like, I think I want to do play-by-play, not color commentator, because I think I can set up players with stuff that they haven't been set up, and I think I can control flow of a show. I think I can do that.
You're gonna tee off on me. Your position doing color is set up for you and your personality and everything you have to say. Play-by-play, brother, we're not getting that same. We're gonna get it
Until when? Until like color commentary wasn't supposed to be how I was either. It's one of those things where
I hate to slam a Pittsburgh guy, but Dennis Miller sucked in the booth. When
he
did
wasn't
it.
a two-time
You
Pro
know,
Bowler.
exactly.
It's a whole different. It's a whole different animal.
Right.
And if you give me, you can even give us a 3-man booth if you want. If you want to give somebody on a defense, if you want to give somebody on offense, somebody who's been in a locker. I think I
got it.
Where you're coming from though, like it hasn't been done before. Dennis Miller was a color guy, but he was there to provide like witty commentary.
Tony
We
Kornheiser,
don't
they
claim
threw
him,
up
by
there
the
as
way.
well.
Yeah, but like no one's been able to do play-by-play in a entertaining comedic way.
and informative.
Let's say we treat the play-by-play guy as the host of the show now.
That's what it is.
And now it's a different dynamic they've never done before, never had before. That could be really.
You're
really
the host
good.
of the show. That's
the other
exactly
two guys
what you
wouldn't have to be funny because you're funny.
But also, I think you look at like the podcast, the interviews Pat does. Like he's gonna bring the best out of those guys as well. Like and get them to open
I appreciate
up and
that. It
show
means
their
a lot.
personality.
I think I can get better at it. It means a lot. But like the ad reads. But I think it's one of those things where I can do all the ad reads. I have no problem reading or selling. I have no problem with memory. So if you need me to remember things, I think all the things that people have told me I couldn't do play-by-play because I'm nowhere near like
as polished or
is
whatever.
smart enough to do it. I think hosting a podcast and a 3-hour series show is much more difficult than the ability to react to something happening on the field. Honestly, I do. And it's just, I think it's something, I had a lot of success being a third guy. I've loved it. That'd be a great opportunity if it was a big opportunity, but I do want to give play-by-play a try. I want to really bad. Because that, by the way, me calling a touchdown is me doing play-by-play.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's.
So there were a couple clips of that went pretty viral online on Twitter. So I was looking through them and I was scrolling through some of the comments just because I was curious to see what people were saying. A lot of love, obviously. And then there would always be like one or two guys and be like, oh, he stepped all over the play-by-play. And I would look at their profile and they were like amateur or college play-by-play guys. And I was like, oh, dude, no one cares. Like, no one wants to hear. Oh, yeah, he steps back, throws it over to the left. Oh, touchdown.
Right.
Some kid, I guess I called him a bum years ago. He's now a media guy. But he posted a tweet about like mocking me being a great guy because of me calling him a bum. Like probably 5-6 years ago, to be honest. And by the way, I was much better on Twitter back then. Was I not awesome on Twitter back then? I was going after advertisers of the Colts.
Oh, God.
He had to call me one time.
Listen, this is true. It'd be like there was a thing out for two people in that building at one time. It was like you always got to be leery of what the owner tweets out, and we have to clean it up. They'll know what he says stays. And the second one was always McAfee. Whenever there would be McAfee thing out, there'd be a blow-up group text. Hey, check it out real quick. Somebody talk to him or somebody not talk to him or see what it's about. I mean, there was only two people. It was Ursay and McAfee. The whole building.
So it was somebody's job to get every single notification, like every time he tweets?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah. Well, not one
absolutely.
person. Yeah, it was like, there was somebody in sponsorship. It was somebody in scouting. It was,
Yes.
there was a fool.
Hey, the best were always, hey, Joe, ... eat shit.
I was so much better back in the day when I was smaller. I could have real fun. I went after one of the Colts sponsors.
Oh, jeez.
He had to come talk to
Oh,
me.
God.
He was like, "How do we make this right?" I was like, "Make it right.
Was it
Tell them to be a better company."
Is it a foreign car company? I won't give him. Yeah.
That one happened. There was also
Good
a jeweler.
Lord.
There was
Yeah.
a jeweler too. That happened.
Thanks for that. I had to go to the dealership. Listen, guys, what he meant was. Anyway, is that car deal still on the table? Or they're like, get out.
Anyways, I called that kid a bum. Because I said something about the media doing something. I didn't have a good relationship with the media. I thought they were the ones who controlled the vision on how people were perceived by the masses, which is what they are.
Which is a lot of truth to
Which
that.
is especially when you're calling games. So if I'm a monster punting the ball, nobody has a clue unless the commentators are saying, hey, this guy is good, right? You're shaping people's opinions, basically. And I said something along those lines, and he was freshly graduated in college or maybe in college to be a broadcaster. And he said something about him knowing more about something than me. And I just responded to him and I go, you bum. Like and he he took a picture of it and tweeted out yesterday and was like, oh, it's nice to hear everybody calling Pat a great guy. This is back when he called a college kid a bum. It was like, I should have buried you harder.
You motivated him.
Yeah.
You motivated him to become something.
Yeah. Did you graduate, kid?
Probably was a bum, too. It's probably a bum.
This kid, we would never be friends with this kid. For a reason, by the way, for a reason. But I used to be able to do things like that on Twitter. Now if I do it, fucking 1 million people attack the bum. It's like, I don't want to make a burner, but I want to make like a, hand this account over. I don't, because I've taken so much pride in what I've built. I've with the help, obviously, Foxy, the videos you put together, incredible. That Titans one you put together, and then the year-end review one we put out last night. Couldn't do it without you. But a lot of the building there at Twitter was literally just me and fucking 140 characters. I have a lot of pride in it. But man, back whenever I was smaller, it was a lot more fun. It was so much more fun. I could just bury some fuckers. Because I don't get to talk shit much as a punter. You don't get to talk shit much.
Yeah.
And when someone comes after you too for doing something like in that instance, they only do it when they're threatened. Like, oh, obviously I'm looking at something that's way better. I'll never have a chance if this was the future. You know what I mean?
I have no idea, man.
Because otherwise you're just like, you just let it go.
I knew before that game there was zero nerves. There was absolutely zero nerves. First time I did stand up, there was zero nerves. It was just like people are either going to like it or they're not. It's the way it's going to go. You're either going to love this or you're not. And by the way, if you don't love me early, some of my closest friends hated me the first couple of days. DeQuell Jackson hated me. He told the story. He fucking hated me. And once you realize, this is an everyday thing. This isn't just every once in a while. This is real.
247.
This is a real thing. It's I'm very lucky. I'm very, very fucking lucky. You guys are the best. Let's get the fuck out of here. We've been here a long time. How are you guys doing? Happy New Year. Oh, you know what?
Happy New Year.
I want to hear some resolutions.
Nice.
I want to hear some resolutions. Todd, resolution?
All right. So obviously with this weight loss challenge, I'm cutting weight. Part of that is I'm going to have to exercise in order to keep up. So my resolution is to be fit for the entire 2019 season.
It's an aggressive
The
resolution.
entire year.
Tough.
A whole year.
Yeah.
Give yourself a break somewhere in there.
I'll give you January, Todd, but after that.
The number of times
It's all you.
the number of times I'll put on a shirt and like this is what I'm wearing when I go out, and then I hit the mirror and I'm like, oh no, fucking showing off my gut too much. I can't wear that shirt. That happens way too often
Okay.
in my life now.
So when you do that, the thought, because I've had this often too, because I crash diet and then I'm back, and then I crash diet, then I'm back. I mean, I ate a family size M&M peanut thing after fasting for 72 hours. So
It's impressive, if anything.
Thank you. I am very much a come and go, easy come, easy go weight guy. Every time I look in the mirror though, and I'm a little bit overweight, I try to talk myself into being like, you feel this feeling right now, you being fat? Remember that you hate this more than you like the taste of food.
Right.
So then whenever I go eat the food, though, I'm like, that mirror, that's a one mirror thing. It has been tough to do that.
Well, and I really haven't exercised in the last decade. So, like, I want to see what that does for me. Because maybe all I got to do is do some sit-ups 2 or 3 times a week, and then I'll be able to buy that shirt that keeps popping up in my Instagram feed. Like, oh, that hoodie's really cool. I can never wear that.
Oh, the one with the shallop at the bottom? Yeah, that one is really cool.
Can't do that 'cause my fucking gut.
It's real thin. It's a thin hoodie. Yeah. There's no way you could wear that.
No way.
Me too, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
No way.
I take no
You
offense.
talking
to
about the
that.
super cheap ones? They're like
Yeah.
15, but don't buy that. It's not going to fit like it looks in that picture.
You don't know because how fat we are right now.
But the fact that I can just look at the picture and
That
know
shit's
I
coming
would
from
look disgusting
Thailand,
in
and
it.
it ain't going to look like that.
I
I've
get
had
it,
many
but
things come from there that
when
have
you
been
look at a
fine.
picture,
Well, you're an amoeba. You change shape all year round. You can fit in anything.
I just want to be able to wear some of that shit without. Every time I look at a cool shirt, I have to worry. Oh, is it going to show off my gut or not?
Well, hey, Todd,
I don't
we're
want that.
behind you. I want to let you know I'm behind you. But I think you should shoot for a 6-month thing instead of a full year. Give yourself a little hope there in the summer.
That at least gets me through the swimming pool season.
What do they say? Nothing tastes as good as
Skinny Phil's.
Finny. I just don't know if I believe that.
Yeah,
yet.
I don't agree with that.
I gotta get myself to that point. I think Gorman's at that point. Gorman, you've gotten very skinny over the years.
Getting older, bro.
You don't see a lot of fat old folks.
That's so. You don't see a lot of fat old. We're fucking covered by them. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
Everyone old.
because all the fat old folks die.
Yeah, they're all dead. They're all
I
dead.
get mocked for eating a Subway sandwich every day.
Yeah, but that doesn't make that the whole thing was a lie. The guy that was pitching that lie.
Yeah.
The dietary plan of that thing lie. It was all a lie.
Well, I mean, it's still good. I'm just saying. I'm watching you guys eating fucking mushroom poppers every day. I'm going to have a little spinach and chicken breast.
Do you work out at all? Because you look very fit.
Yeah.
Okay,
plays
so you
tennis.
spend some gym time. Okay, you do some
tennis
stuff.
guy?
All right.
Yeah.
Not a
He's the
tennis
most
guy.
racket club looking motherfucker.
Fucking Club Med over here.
Diggs, New Year's resolution.
I've had a migraine since Friday, and apparently that's a thing.
Yeah.
So I assume I'm gonna care less this year. I'm gonna stress less.
Atta boy.
My man.
Boy,
Eat more, stress less.
Diggs, I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how. Honestly, I don't know how you're gonna be able to do it.
He's joining a stressful competition.
I don't know how you're gonna be able to care less, Diggs.
Yeah, is there such a thing as carry less than you?
Maybe
do?
I'll go to the doctor more.
care less.
That's caring more, I think.
I don't understand how that works. I don't think.
It's like WebMD. You walk in there, you say something's wrong, you got cancer. It's over. You worry.
No, I'm thinking this because I don't get migraines, so I'm starting to think it might be something more.
I used to tell.
So maybe get through 20. Survive. I want to live to the Roaring 20s.
Okay.
The Roaring 20s is gonna be an awesome time.
Yeah.
Okay. I like
Okay.
that. Good for you. Sam has migraines every once in a while.
Yeah. Do they last this
And I
long?
don't really get headaches, right? So I always thought headaches were fake.
I used to get so mad when you would say that.
I did. He would have a headache. He'd be in like terrible pain. I'm like, this isn't even real, bro. And he's like, I can't.
So this is my
He wanted to fight me. And then the
is my
migraines,
first.
I guess they're a whole nother level. Percy Harvin?
yeah.
Percy Harvin IR because of
Oh,
migraines.
no joke.
I thought it was, honestly, and I take this back about Percy Harvin, because when it was happening, internally I was like, this guy just doesn't want to play football. This guy, I got a headache. And then I started getting headaches like within the last like year or two, just as once they turn 30. They're the fucking worst.
Oh, yeah.
These things are the worst.
It'd be physically impossible to try to play football with a migraine. I can't even fucking imagine it.
They are the worst. I was.
I
just
judged them too. and
I don't
feel
think I've
bad.
ever
Exactly.
had a migraine. I've had a headache, but I've never had a migraine.
Same.
Because I've seen people with them. It just
Feels
shuts
like
you
someone's
guys
been
down,
drawing
right?
a fucking hole in my head for the last 4 days.
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
even
like-
have lights and stuff.
Yeah,
Your eye doesn't even work right.
Lay in
Been
bed.
drinking water?
Huh? Yeah, I'm drinking.
That's what
fucking
I always
water.
said, by the way. I was like, oh, dehydrated, bro. Hey, you're gonna have those are fake, man. Just drink some fucking water. And I said the same thing to Sam. My lady Sam, she gets headaches, migraines, or whatever. I'm like, you need to drink more water. Those things aren't even real. And then I got my first one, and I had never seen somebody more like, what's going on here? Does it feel like you don't even want to open your eyes right now? Oh, that's a shame. Does it feel like somebody's stabbing you right in your fucking forehead? That's what you feel like, huh, Dick? So you just want to survive?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, boy.
Appreciate you, man.
As he drinks water.
That's, from what I've learned in my studies, water helps.
Water's the best.
But also some other really serious drugs you can take for that, I think.
I've been tried.
Oh, like doctor drugs, or are you talking
No,
about
no.
street drugs?
Street.
I think there's some street drugs you can take.
I've been taking muscle relaxers and a lot of
That's
weed.
what I heard, yeah, isn't it?
Yeah. It didn't help.
Really?
Vitamins?
Yeah, it didn't help.
You look relaxed as hell, though.
Thanks,
right
man. I
now.
appreciate that.
Yeah, the muscles look very relaxed. Nick, New Year's resolution.
Yeah, I got to dial it back a little bit. We're dialing back the mom jokes. We're going to take a step back. We're going to go easy. And it's not because I feel bad about
Feels
it.
like you feel bad.
No, it's because I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of Gorman crying about it. I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take it anymore.
I did.
Are
a
you
couple-
doing?
He's texting me over the weekend about tweets. He's going, look what you did to me. I didn't do this, bro.
Who did?
It's the mafia. They come out and they're like, hey, Gorman's mother was underneath him. Everything is Gorman's mother was underneath. All right.
Hold on. Who
No,
did?
and then I get one. Oh, the one I text you, the one I screenshot. I'm like, come on, bro. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, I didn't send it. What do you want from me?
Yeah, but you brought everybody in the arena.
no
and
one's
said,
Brought
okay,
everybody
now-
in.
Yeah.
To
No one's
where?
making those jokes if it wasn't for you.
Brought everybody into where, Gorman?
To the arena. And so they're all teeing off on me.
your-
They're all teeing off on Doty.
To your mom's house? To Dolores' house?
Jesus.
You already fucking blew that resolution, didn't you?
It's still
Year hasn't
2018,
started.
buddy.
Are you still doing the January thing that you talked about?
I want to, but it's my dad's birthday in January, so I feel like I owe it to him.
Nick wasn't going to drink all.
I was going to go sober completely January, so I still might do that. I might take a day or two.
You'll be a joy to
To
be
go.
around. Christ.
That's not what your mom said. Like, just let me have one day here.
Yeah. Just got to get them out.
Let me have one day.
Gorman, your New Year's resolution?
Yeah, it's a two-parter. It's both work-related.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
First off, I got to figure out the guy who I work for. Okay, I can't figure him out.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not having trouble. I know him pretty well and stuff, but he comes fucking barreling through the doors today. Don't anybody talk to me. Don't even look at me. I need some time down. I got to interview in 30 minutes. No questions. That's it. Leave me alone.
Yep.
What was your problem with that?
He comes walking out of his office basically with a microphone. Okay, here's what I got. Okay, listen to me. Well, what do you want us to do? You want us to shut up and fucking bury our face in the thing?
Diggs, please inform him why.
Well, he came in and he didn't want to talk to us because he wanted to save it for in here.
Yeah.
On the microphone.
For the microphone.
But then when he came back out, you just have to tiptoe your way around that conversation without bringing up things that would be brought up in
On
here.
the
yes. So this is a little
Two
gym.
different things.
Hey, listen, this is a little mental gymkhana. Okay,
Yeah.
you got to bounce around. Okay, What can we talk
It's a
about?
mental minefield out there.
Without spoiling show. Got it.
Because my first response, best response. So if it's a forced question of an answer I've already had that everybody's already heard before, by the way,
Right.
not going to be good. Same
Yeah.
thing with everybody else in the room. So we ran into these issues where I would come into this office and we're all friends, so we all want to talk. We'd have a full conversation, and it's like, fuck.
We talked about everything.
We just got to cover everything. I actually thought about having my phone mic'd up at all times so we could catch conversations
Todd's like, yeah.
that happen. So when I came in, I knew there was going to be a lot of questions. I knew there was going to be a lot of
No
questions.
question.
No fucking question. And it's a ongoing joke, obviously, but it is a real thing too. It's like, yo, let's not fuck this conversation up now. Let's have it on the microphone.
You're the new Zito. Like, Zito used to be the king of fucking
Oh my
talking.
God!
Used
Zito
to.
did it today.
Used
he did
to.
it fucking today.
No questions. Hey, one question.
As soon as I walk in, I go, listen. And then, by the way, I came back out of my office. Great to see everybody. But Zito, as soon as I get done screaming, no motherfucking questions. I don't even think I took a breath after that word. Zito goes, quick question.
I will say I have toned it back a little bit.
I think so.
Like, we'll be sitting on the chairs, and Zito will bring up, like, this incredible topic. Like, this is, like, the funniest thing he's said in fucking months.
It's like a game at this point. I'm like, all right. I love when he does it because it's like a challenge. Like, all right, this is the stupidest question I've ever been asked, but can I fucking make him laugh with the answer?
It's
like
fucking
a little
infuriating.
game we play.
No, but Todd,
really I good to enjoy get.
as a business,
Save
as a
it.
small business, the little bit of intelligence and magic that comes out of Zito's mouth, we need it to be recorded.
Well, I will tell you though, it keeps morale up though. Anywhere else, it keeps morale up.
What do you mean anywhere else?
Outside this room. So if there's any morale down, I'm bringing it up out there.
There's a lot of ways. See, this is that mental gymkhana that I'm sure your brain has quit on early. But Zito, you have these moments of the most brilliant things I've ever heard in my entire life. Yeah. Just somehow out of nowhere, it just comes out. And literally every person in room stops when that happens. Then there's also this other side that's just down here at the bottom. It's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Tell him what you said yesterday, Zeke.
I can't wait to hear it.
Guinness beer is the lightest beer.
Oh, I heard that. I saw that on somebody's story.
Yeah.
I don't even know how that comes out of your face.
It is the lightest beer. To me, it is.
He also wanted to argue that we shouldn't celebrate on New Year's Eve. We should celebrate on New Year's Day.
No, I said I got confused. What?
No, yeah. So
day
what
is
night
the
do I get
actual-
drunk? Tonight or tomorrow?
That's what
he
he-
literally
I never
asked
know.
that.
I never know. I just follow each other's plans.
What night do we get drunk?
Well, it's like
Tomorrow
they should,
night, right?
They should
No,
be
no.
New Year's Eve. New Year's Day should be the day you party.
So I didn't know that they treat New Year's Day with as much respect as they do. They shut down stores.
It's Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically,
yeah.
It's confusing.
Winter Classic.
it's like the same
bowl
as
games.
same as Christmas as far as like stores being open.
I had no fucking idea. I mean, I sent in a group text.
Oh shit! Tomorrow's New Year's Eve.
I guess I almost wrote like, I guess tomorrow's New Year's
It was
Eve.
so reluctant. It was awesome.
Well, we got
See
a
you guys
weigh in
at
New Year's
noon.
Day. Well, today we would weigh in.
Tomorrow, tomorrow we'll have our
Gotta
first
record.
weigh.
We got to weigh in.
We're going live probably 10. We said 10 a.m. Let's make it noon.
Okay.
So we'll go live at noon. The weigh-in, the official weight loss challenge begins today at noon. First weigh-in.
Bet at mybookie.ag. Odds are out.
Odds are at.
Well, hey, give me. Who's
Zito's
in
the
front?
favorite at, I think, plus 170 something like
Plus
that.
175.
And then Tim McAfee is second favorite. I don't know his exact odds.
Plus 230.
And then I'm third at plus 300.
So you're going to make money regardless if you bet on this.
Especially if you
Oh,
bet
yeah.
on Todd. Especially if you bet on
Get
Todd.
What's
your-
yours, Todd?
I'm like plus 375 or
Yeah,
something.
underdogs, baby.
Underdog.
We're the
I like
team
it.
dog.
It's a good position. to be in.
mybookie.ag. Promo code PAT. Get 50% bonus on your first deposit. Get your bets in now. Everybody's an underdog. Everybody's in. You got good
Diggs is
money on.
clearly going to win, and he's got the best value.
Can I give you
it's the value
free,
pick.
I'll give you a
Nick,
free win.
Nick and Diggs are a team. Zito and Evan are a team. Connor and Todd are a team, and Ty and Tim McAfee are a team. That's why Nick just said what he just said. Don't take that with anything else.
Let me give you a
Ride
free
with the
win.
underdog.
The over-under for total for the winner on lost pounds is 32. Hammer the over 32 on that. It's going to hit.
Okay, there's free money. So you bet on everybody, you're making money back on your money. You use the promo code PAT, you're making money on your money. And the over of the 32 pounds, Diggs just said, is a guarantee, and he's a competitor in the weight loss challenge.
Yeah, it's a guaranteed lock. Zito did 32 last time, and we didn't even work out.
Yep.
I did 28 last time and didn't work out. I assume we're going to lose more than 32.
You know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say?
What are you going to say, dude?
You know how you all have been living a pretty good life.
Oh yeah.
Not
You
bad.
know what I mean? If somebody asked me to go back right now and work out with Mike Barwis, my college coach, strength coach, which I did get asked whenever he had a TV show called American Muscle on Discovery Channel. I was asked directly, Pat, will you come work out for this show? I looked right at his face. And I said, when I was broke, yes. I'm comfortable now. There is no way I would go through one of your fucking workouts ever again. I'm worried you all might be a little bit too soft. I don't know if that edge is still there. I don't know if Zito, who is still trying to make his way in this office, would just sit there and only eat 4 pieces of lettuce on a daily basis for 30 days and lose 32 pounds. I don't know if it still exists.
I think you would if you put $9,999 to win.
Oh, so that's
MyBookie.
that's the driving force?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
$9,999 is the driving force.
Yeah, what do you think I'm
What are you
doing
getting
this for?
for it? What are you getting with it?
I'm definitely putting it down to a new car. My lease is coming up, and then
How much is the
girlfriend
down
wants-
payment on a new car for a lease?
It depends. You can put it whenever, but if however much you put down, your monthly payment is less.
So you being smart financially, you put more down up front.
So my monthly payment is less.
Obviously,
but
that's where the
also
smart financial
the girlfriend
digs.
keeps saying, if I win, we're getting a new fucking dog.
You're buying a dog with that further brand.
That's what I've been told.
What? Just go adopt a dog.
No. You think I would adopt a fucking dog? I'm getting a fucking brand new fucking.
Next, let's assume that just like you said last week, your opinions changed every day. Let's hope in 30 days from now we'll get you to adopt, not shop, $70. But you're going with
forgot.
you're going with the down payment.
We literally have yeah, adopt.
We have but in a week things will change. Right?
That's on me.
But a down payment for a car.
Yeah.
Okay. And
I have a
possibly,
whole list. I had a list of.
By the way, a new animal, even if you buy it, you're saving it for whatever. Don't worry about that.
Gets
You
a home.
You should definitely adopt. Let's not get crazy because you're feeding into things that are terrible whenever you buy dogs. But neither here nor there.
Diggs, big puppy mill guy.
You heard it here first.
I did have a list here. Wish list when have money again.
Okay, good.
A new car, a street bike, finish my tattoo sleeve, an AR-15, enroll in a 401k.
I don't know if you're 18 or 45.
Such a diverse portfolio of things. All right, a street bike, AR-15, also 401k, of course. Give me some stocks and bonds. Oh my god!
Well, you know,
After your gun just got stolen, you want to get your AR-15 stolen?
Oh, you can
Diggs?
travel that one around.
yeah, throw it in the trunk.
Put it in the Kia.
that's home defense.
You should probably take some of that money, get new locks on your cars, I think, instead.
No, it was the key fob malfunction.
Zito, what is your?
2019, no more you get it work, 100%. Actually, 95%. 95%.
Are you clapping for yourself?
Yeah. No more you get it, more you got it work.
Nice.
Let's go, Zito.
That's the last 2 months.
2 months. You think?
Yeah.
I'm thinking that one doesn't get off the ground. I'm thinking that plane
I
is.
don't think it does.
I don't think that's getting off the ground, Zito. Because I mean that is basically you, though. I mean it's the gift of Zito and
The curse.
Gift is the curse.
incredible job by the team, by the way, putting together those Colts shirts. Incredible job. Those shirts look good. Those
do.
Eagle shirts look good too.
Eagle shirts are good.
I like that Eagle shirt. I might wear that Eagle shirt.
I really wanted a Pittsburgh rerun the North shirt. Didn't happen.
Yep.
How'd you feel sitting there watching Cleveland?
So
How
because
about when he didn't challenge it? Right, and that could have been the game winner for them when Williams didn't challenge it. Could have been a game winner. All I could think of was Diggs talking about, I don't know why I expected Greg fucking Williams to challenge the right call and the Browns to win. I thought there was going to be a full on.
It was actually a weird week for me because I was a Browns fan this week, so I had no expectations going to the game.
Yeah.
So there was no real letdown yesterday. Actually, I didn't think they were going to win at all. So there was no real letdown. So and then I had this fucking pounding headache the entire game. So I was a little more reserved than normal. And then when it ended, there was 5-10 minutes of disappointment, and then there was a weird sense of relief. It was awkward. It was a weird day for me.
So you're like, I don't have to care anymore.
Yeah, it kind of felt good actually to not have to care.
Because this Steelers season has been quite an up and down.
It's been unbelievable. There's from fucking starting the overtime game week 1.
Before week 1.
Yeah, well,
Le'Veon Bell. I mean, there's
literally every
the
not-
offseason.
There was 2 games all season, the Falcons and maybe one other game where shit wasn't just off the wall the entire.
Hey, Mark Madden saying Antonio Brown could have played, chose not to.
That's all right. I mean, if you can't beat the Bengals without
Yeah,
Antonio Brown, you don't deserve to be. In the
I was
fucking
tweeting
playoffs.
about the Browns, like complaining about the Browns. Jarvis Landry missed that one catch and blah blah. And guys like, oh well, the Steelers are losing right now. It doesn't even matter. Like, is this your first Steelers Bengals game, bro? Like, they're gonna win. This is what happens. They play down the first half, they suck, and then they come back and win. The Bengals do what the Bengals do and fuck it up.
How about speaking of doing what they normally do, Gabbert Cuzzy. I got a text from Gorman. It was like Gabbert's. You said he's going to throw 2 picks late.
I was confident he was going to throw another pick after
He's on the award.
4 minute left.
We all knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
Good mustache on him though.
I think the Colts are a really good team right now.
That defense.
I like
love
them.
them.
That defense.
I like them a lot.
I'm
man.
all in.
They're playing for each other too. It seemed Aaron Rodgers said in the pre-production conversation what he's looking for in the next coach, and he said camaraderie matters. And I think I've said this a lot. If you like your teammates, you're going to play so much harder and better for them because you're playing for them, not with them. And it's a big deal. That Colts team seems to be synced up really, really well. They like each other. I was watching videos from the airplane after the game last night. Whole place is dancing, much like that Eagles fucking team meeting
Yes,
video I
sir.
saw. That team likes each other a lot. And I think Frank Reich and Andrew Luck are very much on similar wavelength when it comes to brains and the way they act. I think he's pulling the strings, and Andrew Luck is loving it. I think they are a dangerous team. I think they're a very dangerous team. Did you see T.Y. do the avoid getting
Oh
hit?
yeah.
Yeah,
When he was running
yeah.
down the right side.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a talented guy. I'm telling you, he's a talented guy at that.
And you can tell his ankle hurts so bad.
yeah.
But he's
He's
still
banged
making
up.
the plays. It's fucking incredible to watch.
There's that one that was real tight that he dropped. I bet you he was very. He's got
had
like
to be.
that underdog mentality. He always has, always will. I think they look good, man. Patriots.
Oh yeah, we're back. I mean,
Patriots are the Patriots.
yeah, we said this a while ago.
Who do they lose to? You think?
Somebody
In the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think we lose to
Colts?
Probably the Jets week 1 because we're winning the Super Bowl, baby. We're going back and we're winning the fucking Super Bowl.
No way.
Yeah, way. Yeah,
No
way.
way.
After watching Brady sling it, watching the defense play at home, because I think the Chiefs are going to
Against the
lose to the
Jets?
Chargers, and I think the Chargers are going to have to come to town.
I'll tell you what, I love what you just did right there because us all saying no way and you saying that, if it does happen, is
Yeah.
going to be an incredible clip for you.
This is exactly what happened in week 3. After week 3, I said they were going to somehow still end up with a bye, somehow still end up with a home field advantage and go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I agree.
division's terrible.
I agree. You have said it.
But it doesn't matter. Things
Football's
had-
football, man. Detroit Lions beat the Patriots. this
Yeah,
year.
a lot of things had to fall into place for us to still.
They're not winning.
Fuck out of
Let
here.
that
They
happen.
winning it this year.
Really? You're a negative? You say
All right.
no way?
Whatever.
I
Whatever.
said no way to him when he first said it.
Here we are.
I
You
wouldn't
can't-
doubt it.
But
I
you
mean,
can't say no to that.
Yeah.
No.
Tom Brady, playoffs. Bill Belichick, playoffs.
Honestly, I have
And
no
how-
idea who's gonna.
It's wide open.
Yeah.
It's why, especially the AFC. The AFC's wide open.
So is the
it's-
NFC.
But the Saints and nobody can really hang in the Superdome. Nobody can hang in that place.
I think they can.
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
all it takes
They
is
ran
right.
through
Oh, Drew
teams.
Brees gets even the greats every once in a while will
Yeah,
miss a,
they haven't
a
been as
throw.
great lately.
You know what I
I
mean?
really like.
My gut.
I like Chicago.
My gut's
Let's
telling me
go.
Chargers. I'm looking at the Chargers. I'm like, this could
There's
be
another AFC
could be
team. and it
Rivers.
is-
That's who I think is coming to us.
could be his last run. I think it's a good time for them to do something
They have
special.
good odds too. It's like 18-1.
Nope, Colts are going to be the Texans, so the Colts are going to go to the Chiefs, and then
I
the
don't
Chargers
know.
are going to go to.
They played 3 times. This is the 3rd time they've played this year. They just lost at home to the Colts. Like, you think they're going to lose back-to-back games at home against the Colts? I just don't
That
see it happening.
Texans.
That
Texans.
O-line
Yeah.
is
I like
dog
I
shit.
like the Texans, but PFF Mike
Yeah, called it.
called it before the season even started. He was on The Bachelorette, this motherfucker. He was an intern for us for a week and a half. He is a good dude at PFF. He said going into this season that the Houston Texans have the worst documented offensive line in the history of football, he said.
And they
Exact
showed it.
words. And it has happened. But
bad.
still, though, the Texans have won the AFC South without it. But in the playoffs, that's when those little things get exposed. I've been on a couple teams where stuff like that has happened because all it is this, like the speed of the NFL in preseason is like, let's say 2 gears above what normal college games are. Okay, NFL preseason, like two gears above whatever a college game is. Then when you get in a regular season, it's like somehow everybody's gotten faster again. And then when you get in the playoffs, it's like, hey, we got nothing next week, really, potentially. It is all out speed. And then you get into the Super Bowl, it's just full on car crashes, everybody flying. The playoffs are just another level. And it's not another level for every team, by the way. It's only another level for the teams that are real. And I think this is when we're going to learn a lot about teams that are for real and teams that are not. I'm excited for it because this year's been wild.
Here's why the Texans have no fucking chance. So each of these quarterbacks threw around 650 times. Luck was sacked 18 times. Patrick Mahomes was sacked 26 times. Deshaun Watson was sacked 61 times.
Jeez. Aaron Rodgers was at 50-something, I guess, this year.
The second most sacks in the entire since 2006.
In a season?
Yes, in a season.
Yeah. That's a shit.
He's a stud too, right? Michael Jordan, they say. He's coming back off an injury. He's just getting knocked on his ass. Yep. That's stud.
60 sacks.
Nobody's talking Baltimore. What's going on with Baltimore?
Hey.
I think they're
the
very
high school
dangerous.
offense is going to get fucking
Hold on.
shut
I think they're very dangerous.
Hold on, though. In the playoffs, if some team
Can go to Gillette and beat those guys? Yeah, that's Baltimore.
A running ball, a running game. Hey, let's control the time. Let's do all this. That is, but what's going to happen is if they make, let's say they make it to the Super Bowl, some defense coordinator is going to have 2 weeks to prepare for that. They have no shot. That's what I think. I think they'll be really good. I'm intrigued to see what they do with that offensive style in this offseason to see how they change it because I do believe that NFL defensive coordinators and NFL coaches are smart enough, and players too. They figure out these
That's
things.
why I'm very interested to see what the Chargers do because they already played them once and they got the best of them. They beat them up a little bit. Now Chargers get a second crack at it. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm intrigued because it just everything comes. Remember the Wildcat was just like the greatest thing ever. The like, Wildcat, and then RPOs is everything, and then it's gone. And then anytime RG3 came in, he won Offensive Rookie of the Year when Andrew Luck broke Peyton Manning's records here because he changed the game. And then Chip Kelly, all these things are supposed to happen. All these things are supposed to change it. And then you just get some genius, because all you need is one out of all of them to stop it once, and then everybody else is like, oh, there it is. That's exactly how we figured it out. But I don't doubt that Harbaugh and Lamar and them will be able to adjust it in this offseason. I think they're going to be able to really come. Next year, I think that Ravens team is going to be dangerous.
I think any team whose defense is good enough that they can hold anybody to 14 points or less has a chance of winning the whole thing.
Old school football, too. Sam Cook punting, grind and pound, literally. I love the people. Remember, I said it last week. The people were like,
hey, props to Seabass, yeah?
What do you do?
I mean, just delivers kick. Kick.
Last week, the people, somebody tweeted, Lombardi guy tweeted that the Ravens might be able to be really good if they let Lamar do more or something like that. It's like, they are just winning. That's all they're doing. Like, I think they got it figured out. It's real, though.
Yeah.
All you got to do is get one more point than the other team no matter how you do it.
And he can expose a bad defense as well as anybody. I mean, he's fucking that dude.
He's the most athletic dude on the field, probably. Yeah. I mean, corners very athletic, but he looks faster than everybody. He looks like he looks like a real.
Got to see how he holds up. He's running the ball a lot. He's gonna take some shots.
He has the T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah,
T.Y. Hilton not take big shots.
He's smart about it, but eventually he's gonna get. Regardless, he's gonna get tagged a few times. We'll see if he holds up. He's a thin guy.
I honestly believe that ability to not get hit is a real talent. I think it because at the beginning, I think when I saw T.Y. do it the first time, everybody started yelling at him. And I was like, oh, man, maybe stay in. And then once you see him like for 2-3 years do it, you're like, oh.
Pat, that came from Marvin.
Yes, exactly.
Who then went to Reggie.
Yes.
And Reggie went to T.Y.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Get down, bro. You're 185 pounds. Get the hell down.
Hey, way to go. You just picked up 2 more yards.
Yeah.
You ran that corner over. Instead of being a 32-yard gain, it's a 34-yard gain. That's crazy. It's 100% right. But people crushed him for it early, just like they probably crushed Marv, which they probably crushed Reggie. It's a real talent. I think Lamar has it. Lamar Jackson has that talent.
They're last year's Eagles. Does that make sense? Baltimore is last year's Eagles, no?
In what way?
Just like, not there. Nobody give them a chance.
What? Lamar
got
Jackson
in.
starts for Flacco.
Really good defense. Yeah.
They go on a run. Really good defense. Seems like they like each other. I think Lamar Jackson probably loved in Baltimore, by the way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Probably loved in Baltimore.
His answers have all been good, too. Like, one of the reporters asked him, like, what do you think about, like, this being your team now? And he's like, well, I don't think it's my team. Like, it's our team. we're a unit. Everybody
Oh,
wins
so there
together.
was a
Everybody
gotcha
plays together.
situation
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. It was like we're a togetherness kind of there in Baltimore.
I like that.
Pat, tough for Flacco to walk in that complex last couple of weeks. I mean, he's been doing everything right, smiling, helping the kid out and everything.
Well,
but you're
he's-
driving by yourself to the complex
Oh,
to be a
he's-
backup,
Well, he
making
stinks,
$20
so-
million. I mean,
You know what?
Jacksonville.
Maybe he's about done. You know,
We talked about it, like if Lamar takes a shot, if he takes a good one, you're going to need Joe.
Joe Flacco comes back. Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts situation. I can't wait for the playoffs, man. I'm excited for it. Shout out to Seabass, man. Let's get the fuck out of here. Hashtag Endgang, hashtag Endgame. Send us some New Year's resolutions that make us laugh. At Tom McComas, at Diggs with a Z on Twitter, at Not the Fake Diggs on Instagram.
We're working on that. I emailed some lady with 16 followers if I could get at DIGZ.
Oh, yeah, on both. What'd she say?
She didn't get back to me.
buck
yet.
up.
It's wild.
I'm trying to
You
match.
pay $100 for that?
I got a lot of tweets, by the way, to go to the Sardine Can in Green Bay. I guess that place is electric.
Strip club?
No,
It sounds like.
Sounds like one.
Sounds like.
Oh, no, that's what they call Gabe's mom.
Okay, guys, welcome to the Sardine Club. Coming up next is Cinnamon on stage 2.
Sardine Can. Can have a little respect. Pat Anger told me to go to Bean Snappers. That
Yeah.
I guess is a
Bean snapper.
Bean Snappers is a legendary fucking name.
I guess that's an adult ballet. I didn't go anywhere though, but I was getting like these hateful tweets from people at Sardine Can. Very friendly at the beginning. It was at like 2 a.m. Comments too. The whole thing. The place actually sent me a DM on Instagram. I read it. Very nice. I guess that place is wild, though. I've heard that place is wild in Green Bay. I want to give them a lot of respect for trying to get me to come out and see the place. But I knew if I go in there, what happens? I'd probably miss the game on Sunday. So I'm sorry for missing it, the Sardine Can, but I will at some point in my life come back to the Sardine Can because I've heard nothing but legendary stories about this place.
I would go there and just be like, yeah, we're packed like sardines in here.
All right.
Okay. First hike of the year.
Happy New Year, bro.
He gone.
That kid.
He actually put that thought into words. Like he was like, yeah, I should let this come out of my mouth.
His food's here, actually.
Genius. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Brilliant and dumb. At Nick Moraldo, at Moraldo412 on Instagram.
Yeah, I tried to buy the other one. They tried to extort me.
Oh, yeah? How much?
Couple $100. I was like, I'll give you 75.
A couple $100.
I don't got just laying around.
Well worth
Come
it.
on, let's go. Let's get a bet in. Let's get
I
you a
got
couple.
debts.
Student.
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Hey, student loan 2019 is going to all come to an end, I think.
That's why I pushed it off. I pushed mine all off for another year.
Attaboy.
I'm going to push it off for another year, too.
I was in some corporate meetings where they think a possible recession is coming in 2019. Happy New Year, by the way. He puts on the matern sweater. You're so dumb. Way to go, Z. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Stretch the neck hole out.
Yeah, we got to return that.
Neck hole.
I bought it already.
Well, you take it easy on that mic. You listen to him breathe, man. I'm worried you're going to die. I am.
He had the
I'm
pesto
losing 52
pasta
pounds.
today.
You're losing how many?
52.
52?
We're going back to
In
back.
30 days? Yeah.
He is the reigning, defending, undisputed weight loss champion of PMI from Chicago, Illinois, hailing from Cuba. Viva la Zito.
¿Qué pasa?
You think you're going to lose 52 pounds?
Yes.
It's a lot.
How?
I have a lot to lose.
When's the last time you weighed about 205, 210?
It's freshman year of high school.
Oh.
Those knees are going to be so happy.
Oh my God, they're gonna be so fast
Your
again.
knee- Hey, maybe set up some races in the back there for like a week or two while you still have that weight off at the end of this month. Will you ever think about sticking with the potential fitness after this month, you think?
Well, I said the last time I was gonna stick with it, but like once you taste food again, you're just like, oh my God, it's amazing.
I'm back! 52 pounds is going to be impressive to watch.
Yeah,
You're the favorite right now.
I believe so. Yes.
How's that feel? Make you nervous?
I'd rather be the underdog, but I've been there before though.
Exactly.
Connor just pointed at Todd saying the underdog.
Yeah, fucking go.
Hey,
Todd.
you're in full motivational mode, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm all. Just wait for the fit I come into tomorrow with.
You're wearing a jumpsuit right now.
Just wait. Well, wait. This is my end of the year jumpsuit though. This is different.
What are you doing here?
So I think in 2018, we were space cadets.
He's getting himself ready to launch in 2019.
I'm graduating. I'm going to be an astronaut in 2019. I'm going to be the real thing.
Okay, I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Is that your resolution to become an astronaut?
Yeah. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave everything in 2018 and be better in 2019.
Look at you.
Yeah. I'm going to be an astronaut. Yeah.
You're going to be an astronaut.
Yeah, not just a space cadet. I'm not out to lunch anymore.
No.
We're eating lunch now.
You're right. You're not a magician. You're an illusionist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Taking up space, huh?
Yeah, not anymore. No.
Well, you are. If you're going to be a fucking astronaut, you're taking up space.
Oh, taking up space.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We call it espace up in NASA.
Need a rim shot on that. You call it spas?
It's French, espace. It starts with an E. I don't know.
I respect that. I can't wait to see your 2019, Connor. You're proud of Todd. You think Todd's going to do well?
Oh, absolutely. I don't
52
think.
pounds. You anywhere near that, Todd? No way. You don't have 52.
No, but it's not on.
I'd probably die if I
It's not
lost
on.
52
It's not on
pounds.
that number. It's on percentage. So
What are you doing? Apples, cigarettes, and
and a lot of running, a lot of cardio, a shit ton of cardio.
what are
It's
you?
going to be rough with the cigarettes.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough with the cigarettes, but yeah, we're gonna also.
I'm
we're
going to run. I'm going to run. I'm start running and see what that does.
Yeah.
If I get in a panic mode, then I'll go. I'm not afraid to go
When's
to
the last
starvation.
time you ran? Seriously, a mile.
I'm not scared to go where?
Starvation.
Probably 7 years ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
walk.
Till
I mean,
tomorrow.
just the first week, just walk.
Well,
just
it
walk,
won't be a
brother.
fast
Tomorrow
Just
we're gonna
walk.
do. Tomorrow
Hey,
we're gonna do a couple
walking's-
stints.
Walking's a real deal, man. You put a little fucking incline on that thing and walk. It's a real deal thing. Real deal.
Oh,
Day
yeah.
one, Corey Gregory thinks I'm going to do lunges for 20 straight minutes.
What was that?
20 straight minutes. I think it might be. Dude. I think it might be.
I thought you said Mintons.
No, I might have a stroke. I
Can you
don't know.
spell toast?
Hey, you're director of physical
Yeah, Corey Gregory.
who works out every morning at 4 a.m.
Hey, CoreyGFitness.com. Download the app now.
How much are you making on the side for this guy?
Don't worry about that. But he has my schedule laid out hourly throughout the day.
Oh, you got no shot. Diggs is a known quitter, Corey. Adapt to the
I
guy.
did not quit last time on this competition.
Hey, you know what? You put in a very impressive effort.
It's the only thing I tried all year, besides my job, obviously.
Obviously. Obviously. All right, I'm proud of you guys. I'm excited. New Year's resolution, Foxy?
Yeah, in 2019, I told you this already. Done being a fuck boy.
No way.
Yeah, done being a fuck boy.
Nick, how do you feel about him?
Hey, what do you think? Look at this fucking guy.
Also, I have a group one. Let's get rich. Let's get rich in
Okay,
2019.
okay.
I like that one.
That's
Wealthy,
the more
wealthy.
important one.
Wealthy.
Wealthy.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's get rich. Let's get wealthy.
Either's fine with me.
Hey, Nick, you think he's got any hope on that first one?
I think he's got a couple weeks in him. We'll see.
What does that even
He's
mean?
going to be alert. He's going to be on guard.
Diggs, you know what it means. Diggs, you know exactly
If
what
you
it
know
means.
me, I think you know what it means.
Everybody knows what it means.
Yeah.
Okay.
Foxy, I'm excited for your 2019.
Thank you.
You know, Foxy might have sex too.
Wow.
We'll
Let's
see.
not get ahead of
We'll see.
We'll see.
I put that on my resolution.
For me.
Yeah, what is yours?
Appreciate that.
My resolution is to maintain happiness.
Okay.
That's a big deal. Maintain happiness. And I think that covers a lot of bases. A lot of people sent me tweets telling me either they were thankful, proud, or some people even on the bad side that I didn't try to change in there in the broadcast booth. And I think that is a part of happiness. I'm very comfortable with who I am. And I think that's a part of happiness, right? I'm very, very comfortable. I'm going to be me in every situation, even if it gets me fired, which is, I mean, that is possible. Granted, me wearing the trench coat or the pea coat over the sleeveless hoodie in the interview with Matt Patricia, me kind of being fake a little bit, but I read the room. I had to read the room.
Yeah, that wasn't you being fake. That was just you avoiding a situation.
Adapting.
But I think that's a big part of happiness, right? Is like knowing who you are and being comfortable with it. I think that's and that's what I want. I want to maintain happiness in 2019, and also I'd like to echo Foxy's second one. I'd like us all to get very wealthy. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I think that's the plan.
Let's do it.
I think that's the plan, and then the plan is to go to an island.
Yep.
Everybody knows this. The plan is to go to an island. And somehow that island will have better Wi-Fi than playing joint. The Gorman setup.
I already talked to him twice.
The island or
The plane. We got Wi-Fi. It's gonna be fucking. What do they call Air Force One? You fly out.
No. That place, they were very nice.
Yeah, they're good peeps.
I would like that to know there's very good people. So if they're listening, I apologize for going off about the Wi-Fi. It just happened in a conversation I did. It wasn't a real complaint. You guys did great. I appreciate it. Ty.
I think I'm just gonna try to quit chewing at some
No
point.
way.
in 2019.
Oh, that's not you.
I think that's what you said last year.
I didn't really try though. Didn't really want to. I think I'm ready though. I need to quit.
Yeah. Black Buffalo quit as well, or
You just quitting tobacco or quitting just chewing? Period.
No, like chewing. Period. I don't want that vice anymore. So I'm gonna try to get rid of it.
because it's the habit, right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, like I don't have any sort of buzz from it anymore or anything. It's just it's an oral fixation now.
Hey, you know the headaches you're about to get when you get out of there.
They're tough.
You'll be on that
water.
Diggs level. Yeah, better drink water.
Drink water, man.
On your detox.
Oh, the chew DTs is a real fucking
Oh yeah, I
thing.
know. I've been through the throes of it a couple times, but
Ty, you're already so pleasant. I don't know if,
I think you're
how
worth
much more
it.
pleasant you could get.
Hey, I want to let you know, I think you're worth it.
it's not for me. It's not for me.
It's
I
for
get it.
us.
I
It's
get
for
it.
you guys. Yeah.
It is. Hey, I need you to live a little bit longer than what you are trying to do. I need you. I do. Maybe we add that one in there. Can we add a 1A?
Yeah, sure.
The things that you let into your body?
Well, that was going to be the other one is to not order out as much. I mean,
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the 7 Red Bulls a day.
I've cut back on Red Bull quite a bit.
Okay,
Big
good.
time, yeah.
Okay, good. That's
So-
good news.
Think about the amount of money you would save if you didn't order out
Oh,
365 days a year.
God. I know. I could buy a new car.
That food, though, is so good, especially when it just comes to your
Oh,
It
door.
is,
so
and I'm too
so
fucking
good.
lazy.
And
I
you
don't
don't have
wanna-
to do anything.
I don't want to make anything.
Maybe my goal is to have a chef in here for us who, now granted, that's going to be tough.
Yeah.
But how? No, that wouldn't be easy. They could probably, I don't want to say meal plan for you guys, but they could make food.
That would be awesome.
They can make food for you to take home. The Colts had a guy named DeWitt who would have to make specialty orders for like Dwight Freeney and like these people have special diets. It was awesome.
Yeah, reindeer meat.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Seriously, like
It was awesome watching it happen because DeWitt was the man. Chef D was the absolute man, OG and the whole thing. And watching him have to like learn with the new food trends so that he could was awesome to watch. It was like Vontae was on a good diet, Freeney was on this wild fucking diet. It was great. I would like to have that for you guys.
That'd be awesome.
Guys.
Or just someone to tell us what to buy and
No,
how to
you'll
make
never do it. I've had no because I know that because I have met with like 5 nutritionists that have all been employed probably by the Colts and I've been forced to talk to, and I always go in there with a good attitude. This is what I would like. I'd like a jawline.
Yeah.
Can we get a jawline for the kid? I'd also like the gut not to be there as much. So just like Todd said earlier, I can wear better clothes that fit better, and I'd also like to look a little bit skinnier on 4K television. Okay, that's the nutrition. Everybody else is like, I want to be more explosive. I want to be able to run longer. I want to be stronger. Me, I'm like, I would like to look better on 4K TV. And there's always this full on, I'm in. And they go, okay, this is what you got to do. Just like what he's doing with Diggs with the whole setup. And then as soon as you get to like item 3 on there, you're like,
Not for me.
I think I'm probably just going to be able to get out of here. But if you have somebody actually making the food for you and giving it to you, I think that's a bigger deal. So that's
okay.
Yeah, I literally just, I'm not asking a lot. I just literally, and this is a true thing, just want to not pull my back out trying to get my pants off before I have sex. That happened to me last night. There's new fucking skinny jeans that are they're tighter around the ankle now, and if you just try to kick them off and you get stuck, boom, sciatica. The right side is fucked right now.
sciatica.
Right?
The worst.
Just trying to get my
It's the
pants
worst.
off so I can
What a
fuck.
fucking group of humans.
And I was like, fuck pumping season. Can't even fucking
hey,
stand
at
up
that time
straight.
you just got to lay back.
Just fuck your pants on next time. While you're at
Gator, you got any resolutions? New dad, maybe?
To hear less about my father's sex life.
Hey, shout out to Chris Lydell, Lights Out, who came by today.
Who's Chris Lydell?
Literally scared the piss out of me.
Hey, he's gonna fucking knock your teeth out next time
Tinkle.
he sees you.
Well, remember, you're like, Gorman, don't
Lydell.
let anybody in the place. So I think my first day here, I was like, come on in, what do you got? And he's like, just here for a McAfee interview. I'm like, oh,
Chuck
autograph.
Liddell's brother,
What did I say?
Chris Lydell.
Who was it?
Say it again. What? Say how you. Now that we're all laughing at how you.
Chris Lydell.
Okay, give it
Chris
another
Lights Out Lydell.
Try and give it another.
Chris
one.
Lytle.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, he knocks on the door. It's raining out. I'm not letting anybody in because
You're the only one in here.
I'm the only one here. I took down some Christmas stuff for you today. Give us the office a heads
We
up.
live those up all year.
What are you doing?
Just kind of put them back to where they were. Am I in trouble for that?
But fucking yeah, I like them up all year. It gives the place a little personality.
All right, well, I took them down. I guess I know what I'm doing after this. Putting them back up. No, but this guy, he knocks on the door and he's got ground beef for ears. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this? I'm watching Deliverance again. And by the way, Lytle, I love you. He's now a friend.
What's his name?
Chris Lytle. Lights out. So he's like, are the guys here? And I'm like, no, I'm the only one here. And he's like, oh, I'm a friend of Todd's, and I'm a friend of Pat's, and I want to, I want to. And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do? Right now I'm squirting myself because he looks like a fighter, but let him in. Nice little talk with him this morning.
Tom
McComas. He's got a bare knuckle fight in Cancun in 2 weeks. That's a true story. Bare knuckle fight in Cancun.
Yeah, he had one. He's been in a couple of those.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
He's an unbelievable man.
Thank God Ty came in. Jeez.
He's a very.
At least he knew him, man. Want something to drink, sir? Water.
Did Matreon come by?
No, Mitrione wasn't here. But
Is Matreon back there in the in the glass?
yeah, he just walked in.
Did he really?
Hey, what's up, Pat? You guys got any ice cold beers here? What's going on?
Anytime Matreon or Lytle show up, it's a situation where you can't do anything.
No.
We had to cut something out of the show. For future reference, I would like it to be known there was nothing that I said. And it was nothing that would ruin our company at all.
No.
Nope.
No.
But it gave us this reaction. What we need you to do to win a $500 gift card to the PatMcAfeeShow.com store. $500 gift
Great new playoff merch, too, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Great new. It is something hilarious. So if you can guess exactly what happened to lead us to this laugh, you'll win a $500. This laugh was going to get cut from the show, but it was too good. The entire office lost it. I was in full tears. I think you'll hear me say that I'm in full tears. There was 5 criers in the room from laughing too hard. What comment from who led to that situation?
Oh shit!
I almost pissed.
I'm not keeping that.
That wouldn't go over well.
Yeah, that one's not staying.
Shit.
I got a piece of this.
Tears. All right, that's the show. Have a good one, Ty Schmidt. Happy New Year, by the way.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
And thank you all so much.
Yes.
Without you, there's no way I do that game. Without you, there's no way we do what we do. We're so thankful for you. Have an incredible 2019. We hope you continue to rock with us. Ty Schmidt, hit the music.